Good afternoon and welcome to today's presentation of the Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association's coverage of the Ohio Colt Racing Association. I'm Roger Houston, the brand ambassador for the Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association, and today we're in Urbana for racing from the Champaign County Fairgrounds. Today's live racing event is brought to you by the Galbraith Equine Center at Ohio State University Veterinary Medical Center, Cool Winds Farm, and Big D's Tack and Vet Supply.
Champaign County could bill itself as the Champaign of Ohio fairs, only in the county's case, Champaign is French for open-level country, which is what greeted fur trappers and traders when they arrived in the 1700s. They established trading posts with the Shawnee throughout the region until the end of the 7 Years' War in 1763. When the Northwest Ordinances were enacted in 1787, the land would be settled by veterans of the American Revolution in the 1790s, and by 1805 it had been mapped and plated by Colonel William Ward of Virginia. Ward and his surveyor, Joseph Vance, a future Ohio governor, decided to call the 199 acres that would be the county seat Urbana. It's a synonym for refinement and politeness, but was home to many rugged frontiersmen such as Simon Kenton, a contemporary of Daniel Boone. During the War of 1812, it was the headquarters of that Northwestern Army commanded by the governor of Michigan Territory, William Hull of Connecticut. As the area was tamed, Urbana and Champaign County grew quickly and hosted a few small fairs as early as 1841. By 1859, there is harness racing, and the present fairgrounds was constructed in 1889 with a lightning-fast half-mile oval. 1891 saw the last of the high-wheeled sulkies at the racetrack, as in 1892 the first appearance of the new bicycle sulky was noted. The lighter skeleton frame was equipped with pneumatic or air-filled tires, and the weight of the bike dropped from over 100 pounds to a less hindering 30 pounds. That improved the horse's time by at least 4 seconds. And the Trotters and Pacers records have been going faster and faster since at the Champaign County Fair in Urbana, Ohio.
And welcome to Urbana, Ohio. This is the Champaign County Fairgrounds. A beautiful night. It is approximately 80 degrees. We have 14 Buckeye Stallion Series races. We have 5 divisions for the 2-year-old Field Filly Pacers, 5 divisions for the 2-year-old Colt Pacers, and 4 divisions for the 2-year-old Filly Trotters. They are about ready to come on the track, but here is Mr. Steve Bateson, president of the Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association, to explain a little bit about the Buckeye Stallion Series.
Good evening. Thank you, Tom. So, what a great day. It's going to be a great evening. Buckeye Stallion Series racing here at Champaign County, Urbana, Ohio. For those that maybe aren't familiar with the Buckeye Stallion Series, this will be the 4th year for the Buckeye Stallion Series, and this really came about as another tool for Ohio horsemen to be able to classify their horses. And we race for a guaranteed purse, $17,500. Looks like we're going to have the post parade here shortly. So if Roger starts the post parade, I'll discontinue my conversation here. But so we have 5 legs of this, and how it originated
5
was
to go. 3 out.
This gave
5
an
to go.
opportunity for
4
a horse
out.
that maybe
4
wasn't
to go.
quite ready for the sire stakes to race for good money, and maybe work their way into being good enough to race in the sire stakes, or for a horse that maybe was looking for a little greater challenge from the fair circuit. So Roger's given some changes. I'll let Roger take it from here for a few seconds.
Get along. The 2, Reach Through the Sky, Oz, Dan Noble. Dan Noble on the 2, Reach Through the Sky, Oz. 6 out, 2 to go.
Third race, number 1, How Me In. Herman Wheeler. Herman Wheeler on the 1, How Me In the third. Fourth race, the 1, Rocks Fantasy, Tyler Smith. Tyler Smith, the 1, Rocks Fantasy. Number 3, Imagine It, Ryan Stahl. Ryan Stahl, the 3, Imagine It. And the 7, Case Con, Jeff Neisonger. Jeff Neisonger, the 7, Case Con, race 4.
Looks like Ryan Stahl on this 8 horse in this race. Ryan Stahl on the 8.
Go back to the first race. The 8, Stahl Lee. Who else? Ryan Stahl. Ryan Stahl on the 8, Stahl Lee in the first. Seven out, 1 to go. Fifth race, number 6, Willie the Filly, Josh Sutton. Josh Sutton, the 6, Willie the Filly. Sixth race, the 1, Bougie Girl, Dan Noble. Dan Noble, the 1, Bougie Girl. Need a driver on the 6, Hot Ice. Seventh race, the 1, Wiggle It Jim, Josh Sutton. Josh Sutton, the 1. Scratch the 2, Open My Eyes, injured. Scratch the 2, Open My Eyes. The 7, Pike and Perch, Jeff Neisonger. Jeff Neisonger, the 7, Pike and Perch. 7 out, 1 more to go. If you're going to race, let's get them to the track. Eighth race, driver change on the 3, McJingle. The 4, Bear Creek Honey, Josh Sutton. Josh Sutton, the 4, Bear Creek Honey. The 6, Nora Tova, Jeff Neisonger. Jeff Neisonger, the 7, Nora Tova.
Lisa, give them to me again.
Jeff, as soon as we get them all, we're going to post break. We are close.
Number 3, BBT, are you going to race?
Yeah, it's the 3 we're waiting on.
We have 7 out where you are waiting on 1 more. This is a good field. 2-year-old pacing colts and geldings.
Okay, parade him without him. Parade without the 3. Parade him. Apparently the 3 horse, BBT, has been scratched. Scratch the 3, BBT in the first.
So they are all on the track. We have 7 in. The 3 has been scratched. And
Late scratch.
very late scratch.
Waiting for the post parade here any minute.
Attention, those on the grassy area and in the bleachers, you must have face mask on. Face mask on the grassy area and the bleachers. If you're with your family, you can sit together. Otherwise, social distance, please.
Say some sage advice. Social distancing. 6 feet apart. Face mask. Keep your hands clean. Keep your hands to yourself, too.
Yeah, Tom, keep your hands to yourself.
These are the horses. First race, Buckeye Stallion Series. Third leg, 2-year-old colt, pays $17,500. The 1, Adelius McMoney, Tyler Smith. The 2, Roy Hill with Anthony McDonald. Number 3 is scratched. The 4, Phelan Western, Chris Page. The 5, District Attorney, the driver Josh Sutton. Number 6 is Gray Phantom, Josh Slater. Number 7, Ocean Blue, Dan Noble. And number 8, Stall Lee, Ryan Stall in the sulky. Horses go right to the gate for the first. In the barn area, get them ready for the second. 2-year-old filly pacers, 7 of you. Get them ready. Race 2. Warm-up horses, have them at the gate. Bring them out as soon as this heat's over.
Okay, we're ready to get this first race started here at Urbana, Ohio, Buckeye Stallion Series. We're going to be racing for nearly $250,000
Apparently,
tonight.
some of you did not hear the announcement. If you're going to sit in the bleachers, you must have face mask on. Otherwise, you must clear the grandstand area.
$250,000, Steve.
Yeah, 14 races times 17,500. I think that math is not too far off.
That's sounds like it's in the range.
Right.
On this first race, Steve, this is a good 2-year-old pacing series here. They've got several track record holders like Phelan Weston, number 4, with Brian Brown's nice 2-year-old colt by Weston Hanover, set the track record up at Oak Harbor. That was in a month ago, or the 21st of July.
Starter has called the horses to the gate.
I'll make 1 point. The 7, Ocean Blue, is full brother to Ocean
Horse approaching
Rock.
the starting gate.
This race.
Ocean Pearl's the dam. Ocean Rock has numerous track records. A 3-year-old that Dan Noble and his wife train. This Ocean Blue is my pick for this race. It does have to score from the second tier, which will be interesting to see how it gets away. I like a 7-4-5.
I'm just going to go with Exactor.
2-year-old
4,
colt
6.
pacers are all in behind Mike Wopkenberg starting gate. The gate swings into the stretch, and here they come. They're off and pacing, going for the lead. That's Phelan Western. In between horses, Roy Hill. Adeos McMoney on the inside. 3 wide into the turn, going to the first 8, making the break. And off stride is Roy Hill. As they race to the backside, Phelan Western up on the outside grabs the racetrack. Adeos McMoney is there second, racing third. Down the backside, Stall Lee going to the first quarter mark. Racing fourth, that's District Attorney. In fifth, as they race into the turn, going to the quarter.
29-1.
29 fifth as they race around the turn. Racing sixth, that's Ocean Blue, and trailing the field, Roy Hill. All in straight alignment at the 3/8 mark. Into the lane first time, coming to the halfway station. Phelan Western and Chris Page leads the way by a length and a half. Adeos McMoney is right there second. Racing third is Stall Lee at the halfway point. Fourth on the outside, District Attorney. 59 2/5. Into the turn they go. Racing six is Ocean Blue. On the move on the outside, Gray Phantom. Trailing the field, Roy Hill. 4 in, 2 out, down the backside, going to the 3/4 mark. It's Phelan Western, been there every step by a length and 3/4. Adelis McMoney is there second, racing third. Stall Lee at the 3/4 mark. Stall Lee's on the move for Ryan Stall. 129, third quarter. As they race around the final turn and opening up with every stride, it's Phelan Western now by 2.5. On the outside, Stall Lee is second and coming on. Adair's McMoney third. Down the stretch, Gray Phantom closing the outside, 3 wide. Coming to the wire, it's all Phelan Western. Stall Lee, photo for show.
Well, we had a little excitement this first race.
157, 4/5.
Incidentally, I believe the track record for 2-year-old Payson colt, I think, is 156-4. I think.
I believe it is too.
And I know that, I think, because I was in the race 2 years ago with a horse named Woody Woodpecker, and we came in second to the horse that broke the track record. But incidentally, Roy Hill leaving looks like was going to make the top and made a pretty nasty break. I don't know if the horse slipped or what, but Anthony McDonald had a little bit of traffic there off of that break. Fortunately, everybody got around him. Also, Ocean Blue made a break right here at the start.
Warm-up horses should be on the track. Warm-up horses on the track. 2-year-old filly Pacers, let's have them ready. Second race, 2-year-old filly Pacers, have them ready.
But once Chris got to the front with Feelin' Western, pretty well controlled the fractions. Very impressive mile, half in 59-2, mile in 157-4. If I'm not mistaken, Western Terror, this is the first crop eligible in Ohio. Western Terror stands at Hagemeyer Farm, Scott Hagemeyer. It's a decent crop. Western Terror is a proven stud, but this is the first crop, I believe, eligible in Ohio, Tom.
Well, he is, I believe, one of the 2-year-olds we should keep our eye on. He is now 4 for 5 and just been super impressive every mile.
So this is an example why the Stallion Series is so
Into
important.
the winner's
Back
circle,
to the winner's circle
winner
here.
of the 2-year-old colt pace, first division, Buckeye Stallion Series, sponsored by the Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association. Number 4, Feelin' Western. VIP Internet Stable of New Jersey, Brian Brown, the trainer. Chris Page in the sulky. 2-year-old colt, the Western Terror, the Sweet Feelin'. Lifetime mark 157-4. Final half 58-2. The final quarter 28-4. Feelin' Western and Chris Page.
Tom?
Results are official.
Yep.
Number 1, Adelius McMoney, 3. The 2, Roy Hill, 7. The 3 is scratched. The 4, Feelin' Western, the winner. Number 5, District Attorney, 6. The 6, Gray Phantom, 5. The 7, Ocean Blue, 4. And number 8, Stall Lee, 2. Top down, 3-7 scratch, 1-6-5, 4, 2 on the bottom. The mile, 157, 4/5. Second race, Ray Paver on the 1. Can't we all get along? The 2, Reach Through the Sky Oz, Dan Noble. 2-year-old filly Pacers, 7 of you. Bring them on. Race 2.
So what I started to say, this is why the Stallion Series really, I think, is a great benefit to Ohio. This particular colt started off basically racing at the fairs. You see no qualifiers, so it obviously wasn't ready for the first round of Buckeye Stallion Series or the Sire Stakes. So they've bravened this horse up now with basically 5 straight appearances at the county fairs. Now this isn't a typical fair race tonight, but they kind of proved that they were ready to step up in class. So tonight it went up against some better competition and proved that Feelin' Western was worthy of the competition.
And he does definitely look like he's worthy of the competition. And again, as you said, it brings the fairs, bring the horses up, let them work their ways up, and they could drop time off. That was a new lifetime mark. And with that, we were going to go right over to our sponsors after these few messages.
All right.
Dreams of becoming a champion start early. Since 1933, young colts and fillies have started down the road to becoming a champion on the tracks of the Ohio Colt Racing Association, the same tracks that their ancestors began their careers on. Founded to improve and protect standardbred horse racing at Ohio's county fairs, the OCRA races at 20 tracks in western and southern Ohio. The Ohio Colt Racing Association, where champions are born.
Cool Winds Farm in Lima, Ohio is a full-service standardbred breeding facility that specializes in stallion management. Cool Winds Farm stands Rockin' Amadeus, sire of world champion Ocean Rock. Cool Winds also stands trotters Coraggioso, sire of stakes winner Lima Gold, and double millionaire sire Lucky Chucky. Be sure to visit the Cool Winds yearlings at the Ohio Selected Jug Sale at Pickaway Ag Center on Friday, September 18th.
During several of today's races, watch and listen for your chance to play Text Trivia. Text your answer, A, B, or C, to 614-633-5554. All correct texts will be eligible to win. So enter this number in your phone and be ready. 614-633-5554. That's 614-633-5554. And good luck from the Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association.
Dan Noble drives the 4, Amore Cruiser. 14th race, number 4, Do Me With Kisses, Jeff Neisonger. Do Me With Kisses, the 4, Jeff Neisonger. Scratch the 6, Well, the Race Is On. Well, the Race Is On is scratch 6 in the 14th.
We're back at the Champaign County Fairs in Urbana, Ohio. Coming up a great night of racing. We have all Buckeye Stallion Series tonight, 14 races. This is the second race, purse of $17,500. First division, the 2-year-old.
In the 8th race, number 1, Lovely Monroe. The driver, Ryan Stahl. Ryan Stahl, the 1, Lovely Monroe.
Another driver change, Mike?
1 out, 6 to go. 1 out, 6 to go.
This is the first division for 5. And again, Steve, you were going on about the Buckeye Stallion Series before we got interrupted by that first race.
Yeah, I was just commenting about the fact that the Stallion Series gives trainers the best opportunity to classify their horses. And what I see is in the first race was an example of that. I would not be surprised to see that horse maybe even go up to the sire stakes if it's eligible, but most definitely proved it could handle the Stallion Series tonight. It gives that trainer a better opportunity.
In the 7th race, we've got a driver change on the driver change. Number 7, Wiglet Jim, the driver Ryan Stahl. Ryan Stahl will drive the 1, Wiglet Jim, in race 7.
A lot of driver changes tonight. But, you know, a trainer's main objective is to try to help these owners get a return on their investment and best classify the horse where they can compete. And it's great to race for the big money of the sire stakes, but not every horse is capable of that, as anybody that's owned a horse, a young horse, knows. And the Stallion Series has really helped.
1 out, 6 to go. 1 out, 6 to go. 2-year-old filly pacers bring them to the track.
Has really helped these trainers classify their horses.
5 to go.
Roger's doing a countdown here. You got to work to get your words in, but I think anybody that's ever worked with Rogers, which I have at Delaware, it's a challenge to get your words in with Roger, but love to have him here. Glad he's announcing tonight. So I think, you know, for those that have heard me talk about the Stallion Series, I think it's here to stay. It's really brought some value to the breeding industry. It's simply because it gives those owners an opportunity to get a return on their investment and be able to make a little bit of money and reinvest for the next year. And what I really like is we don't see as many horses racing over their head. Years ago, there were guys that would qualify for the sire stakes, and they thought, I've got to put in the sire stakes. I qualified, and then we hope for an easy split. We hope we draw inside. We hope somebody makes a break, and then, you know, we hope we come in 3rd, 4th, or 5th. And that's a lot of hoping anymore.
Absolutely.
And we can hope for a lot of things, but the competition is way too tough here in Ohio to hope for that many sequences to pan out. So letting that trainer best classify the horse, I think, really keeps owners satisfied. And whether you win at Urbana or you win at Northfield or Scioto Downs, a win is a win. And look, when you're racing for $17,500, that's a significant payday, even coming in 2nd or 3rd. So
it's an excellent purse. Years ago, up in New England, top purse was $4,500, and you raced against some $500,000 winners.
Yeah.
So then $4,500. Now you got $17,500, and again, it's as you said, Steve. They get a chance to see where they fit in.
Yep.
Are they a fair horse? Well, if they're good at the fairs, let's try them in the Buckeye Stallion Series. And as Field and Weston is showing, he might be ready to move up to
well, let's talk about that. If you take a look at this next race, 2-year-old filly Pacers, we've got a horse that has raced in the Sire Stakes, 2 legs, Meadowland Scarlet, owned by Don Hoover, Mike Menners, and Jerry Summers. Actually, Don, we know him as Skip. Skip Hoover's a past president of the OHHA. This is a homebred horse out of a Western Ideal mare. Came in 3rd, and then the last time out was 6th. That Scioto on 724, both in the Sire Stakes. Tonight they're dropping down to the Buckeye Stallion Series, and I think to try to get some points here. And I'm guessing they thought they might classify the horse a little better by dropping down. So, we've got a couple other horses that have been in the Stallion Series, and there's a couple horses, this will be their first attempt at it. I see the 3 horses also. A Chris Beaver horse is raced in 2 legs of the Sire Stakes and at the State Fair. So an interesting field here by all comparison. You take a look at the 7 horses only been at the fairs. We'll talk more.
First division, 2-year-old filly pace, $17,500. The 1, Can't We All Get Along with Ray Paver. Number 2, Reach Through the Sky Oz with Dan Noble. The 3, The Short North with Josh Sutton. The 4, Meadowland Scarlet, Hank Levan. The 5, Unique Rock with Chris Page. The 6, Apple Susie, Tyler Smith. And the 7, Fever's Last Cruise, John Moody in the sulky. Horses go right to the gate. Race 2. Warm-up horses, have them at the draw gate. Get them ready for the 3rd. First division, 2-year-old filly trotters. 5 of you. The 5 has been scratched. Get them ready. 2-year-old filly trotters.
And a great example here is the 6 horse, Apple Susie. Susie. She's been the fair stakes that she won in 2-2, moved up to the Buckeye Stallion Series, and she won in 55-1 at Northfield. And last week was at the State Fair. Made a break, but still paced in 53-4. 5 starts. 2020 lifetime starts too. 5 starts, 3 wins, 2 seconds. She's already picked up $31,331.
She's 5 for 5 lifetime. Our very capable assistant says that this filly is currently 2nd in the points in the Buckeye Stallion Series. I'll make a note here. I don't think Roger caught it, but I think we've got a driver change on the 4. That is not. Did he note that? That's not Chris Presley. That's Hank Levan, it appears to me.
Yeah, he didn't mention it in the post parade.
So he's never drove the horse. That's interesting. Chris Presley must not have made it. I'll make one note here for Bill Webb, because he corrected me at Bowling Green. He was watching the broadcast. And this Fever's Last Cruise, I was mistaken on this mare. Cruising and Surfing is the dam of Dancing Fever, a very capable pacer that Bill Webb also trains for this ownership group. I had the wrong mare, but it was another mare that was a Yankee Cruiser mare, but I was confused. But Fever's Last Cruise has been strictly racing at the fairs.
Starter has called the horses to the gate.
We'll be coming from the 2nd tier. Here's a chance for this filly to step up, and we'll see how she can perform.
Absolutely. 6 starts, 3 wins, 2 seconds.
Horse approaching the starting gate.
Behind the gate for the 2nd from Urbana, Chillicothe, Champaign County Fair.
Swartz said, "You about killed me."
2-year-old filly pacers are all in behind the gate. The gate swings into the stretch, and here they come. off and pacing the short north, goes right out for the lead. Reach Through the Sky Oz is there second, getting away third. Can't We All Get Along? Off stride, Reach Through the Sky Oz as they race into the turn. Fever's Last Cruise from the second tier gets away third. Racing fourth, Meadowland Scarlet onto the backside fifth. Going to the first quarter mark, it's Unique Rock. Racing sixth, back trailing the field. Following the early break, Reach Through the Sky Oz as they race over to the first quarter mark. Into the turn they go. 30 seconds flat. The short north, and Josh Sutton shows the way by a length and a half. Ready to come to the outside, Ray Paver and Can't We All Get Along. Racing third on the inside, Fever's Last Cruise. Moving on the outside, here comes Apple Susie and Tyler Smith. Now fourth on the outside and closing, coming to the halfway point. Racing fifth on the outside with cover as they race into the turn, Unique Rock. They reach halfway point. As they race into the turn they go. On top of the field, the short north. 101 and 1/5. Onto the backside they go at the 5/8 mark. On the outside, Apple Susie, every stride closing in second. Racing third, Can't We All Get Along? Down the backside they go. With the cover on the outside, Unique Rock is third. Coming fifth on the outside, Fever's Last Cruise. Sixth on the inside, Meadowland Scarlet. Treading the field, Reach Through the Sky Oz.
130 and 2.
130 and 2. 3 wide on the outside. Chris Page, Unique Rock coming on. Now third, now second on the outside. The new leader is Apple Susie. Unique Rock on the outside. Inside the short north. Less than a 16th to go. On top of the field and inching away, it's all Apple Susie. Photo for place. 159 3/5.
Susie.
Competitive race.
Great race. 3 wide. They come around the last turn and come the last quarter 29 flat. Mile in 159 and 2.
How about the back half in 58 and 2? 58 and 2. And how about them apples? Apple Susie and
Mr. Apples.
Mr. Apples with the winner. That'll probably put that horse on top in the points. Coming into it was second in points. Really, Josh controlled the fractions, but I don't think he was able to hang on and win. I think he was second, Josh, on the short north, Chris Beavers McCardle, but cut the fractions and kind of had a real breather there in the second quarter, half and a minute and 1/5. Very competitive race. We've made a note now, back-to-back races. We've had a breaker just on the outside, what I'd say in the 2 position, partway through that turn. And right now we do have some shadows from the inside light poles.
Absolutely.
I wonder if they're jumping the poles.
That could be. It's always a factor in what time of day a race is because of stuff like that. Exactly.
Right. And the second time around, they would be in traffic following horses.
They wouldn't see it. Buckeye Stallion Series, third leg, 2-year-old filly pace, sponsored by the OHHA. Number 6, Apple Susie. Marjorie Paul Hamos of Ludlow Falls, Ohio. Dan O'Mara, the winning trainer. Tyler Smith in the sulky. 4th win and 6 starts. 2-year-old filly by Mr. Apples at a sidewalk sleeper.
10-4.
The mile 159 and 3, final half 58 and 2, final quarter 29 and 1. Apple Susie and Tyler Smith. Results are official. Number 1, Can't We All Get Along? 6. The 2, Reach Through the Sky Oz? 7. The 3, The Short North? 2. The 4, Meadowland Scarlet, 5. The 5, Unique Rock, 3. The 6, Apple Susie, the winner. Number 7, Fever's Last Cruise, 4. Top down, 6-7-2, 5-3-1, 4 on the bottom. The mile 159, 3/5. Third race, number 1, Howl Me In. Herman Wheeler scratched the 5, Tulsa Bell, due to sickness. 6 horse slides in one spot when they go to the gate. 2-year-old filly trotters, 5 of you. Bring them on. Race 3.
So with that, we are coming to the third race at Urbana, Buckeye Stallion Series for First Division. 2-year-old filly trotters, and going for purse of $17,500. We will be back shortly after a few words from our sponsors.
When you need supplies for your horse, one name stands out: Big D's. Since 1974, Big D's Tack and Vet Supply has been the equine experts you can trust. Whatever your horse needs is available at Big D's Tack and Vet Supply. Visit the retail outlet in Streetsboro, Ohio, or order online at bigdweb.com. Most orders shipped that day, or call 1-800-321-2142. Big D's Tack and Vet Supply.
Athletes, they come in all shapes and sizes. They catch, they leap, they run. Some athletes even come with 4 legs and paws and hooves. When these beloved family members need care, remember the Ohio State Veterinary Medical Center. Ohio State experts wrote the book on exceptional animal care and know how to get our best friends back on their feet. The Ohio State Veterinary Medical Center.
When an individual goes to the races, the racing program can be quite intimidating. So in these features, we're going to help you better understand the information that is in that racing program. Today, we're first going to take a look at the headings across the top of the page. "1 mile. The distance of the race. The purse is $17,500. Broken down, 50% to the winner, 25% to the second place finisher, 12% to the third place finisher, 8% goes for the horse finishing 4th, and 5% to the 5th place finisher. The date of the race, Tuesday, June the 16th, 2020. And it's racing day number 18 at Scioto Downs. Next is the heading, Scioto Downs. This race is a Buckeye Stallion Series event, and it's for 3-year-old colt pacers. The wagering opportunities in this race, they have a $1 exacta, where you pick the exact order of finish of the first 2 horses. Pick 'em 1-2 to have a winning exacta ticket. 50-cent trifecta wagering. On the trifecta, you must pick the correct order of finish of the first, second, and third horses. Pick 'em 1, 2, 3 to have a winning trifecta ticket. There's also a 20-cent superfecta. In the superfecta, you must pick the exact order of finish of the first 4 horses. Pick 'em 1, 2, 3, 4 to have a winning superfecta ticket. The Daily Double consists of 2 races on the racing program. To have a winning Daily Double ticket, you must pick the winner of the first part of the double and the second part of the double as well. Pick those 2 winners to have a correct Daily Double ticket. Also, 50-cent Pick 4 wagering, where you pick the winner of 4 consecutive races. In this instance, races 1, 2, 3, and 4 make up the Pick 4. With that information, it should be a lot easier to understand what is in our racing program.
We're back at Urbana, the Champaign County Fairgrounds. As we wait for the third race to come on, we're just talking about the shadows.
Yeah.
Various times of the day, cloudy, overcast on a sunny day makes a big difference. But
So Don is scanning over there the first turn, and you can see, as the sun's starting to go down, the inside light pole tractor driving through one right now. So you would say, I don't know why that would be a big deal, but keep in mind at the start of the race, these horses are fired up, and they're all kind of single in their own slot. They're not single file yet, and we've had back-to-back races where we've had a horse make a break about right there in the turn. I'm going to speculate, that these horses are going relatively fast beginning of the race, and I think some of them are catching these light poles unexpectedly. We have not seen a horse make a break the second time around during this turn. And these are things that these horses have to compensate for. You have shadows at fair tracks. You have shadows at parimutuel tracks, depending on what time of day you race there. So that's just all part of it. All the horses have to go through this. Hence, when people say, what's a shadow roll for? A shadow roll is put on below the eyes so that the horse is looking forward and can't see down. But it won't always prevent seeing a shadow.
And a lot of horses will not wear a shadow roll. They will keep on picking their head up and putting the head down if they're not comfortable with it. It's like just having covering your eyes with your hand, and
right.
You can't see the ground.
Right.
But it's a very necessary piece of equipment because of days like this when it is a sunny day.
So Tom, they're about ready to post. One of the things I would always do with the young horse, I would try to put them through the rigors warming up, and knowing the start is the most pressure-packed time for a horse, I would generally try to roll them through there, especially at a place I've never been.
Buckeye Stallion Series, third leg, first division, sponsored by the Ohio Harness Horsemen Association. Number 1, Howl Me In with Herman Wheeler. Number 2, I've Got the Will, Ryan Stahl. Number 3, Game On Girls with Pierce Henry. Number 4, Charming Nancy, Josh Sutton. The 5 is scratched, and the 6, Bathsheba Oz, Dan Noble in her sulky. 6 slides in a spot, going to the gate. Horses going to the gate. Race 3 in the barn area. Get them ready for the 4th. 2-year-old Colt Pace, second division. 7 of you. 2-year-old Colt Pacers, race 4. Get them ready.
And I would have to definitely go with Charming Nancy, the Chris Beaver trained filly by Uncle Peter.
This Uncle Peter filly is first in points in the Stallion Series, having won both legs. The first one at Scioto Downs in 2 minutes and 2/5, and then followed it up 2 weeks later at Northfield Park, 2 minutes and 4/5. This is out of a S.J. Caviar mare. Arcadia Farms is where this nice filly originated from and bred to Uncle Peter, which stands at Hickory Lane Farms in Findlay, Ohio. So it looks like a more than capable filly. Was competitive in the state fair, came in 5th. Didn't trot home as well as it had earlier, but still came home and got a check. It's made $19,850 this year. I kind of like the 3-horse Game On Girls. Don't you forget it. Filly out of a striking Sabra mare. Has 1 win at Tiffin. 2 seconds and 2/3. Driven by Pierce Henry. Trained by Tyler Bates. Gibsonburg, Ohio. So this will be interesting. Several of these horses have been all over different places. We've got the one horse actually raced in the Ohio Sire Stakes and trotted nice, but came in 8th. Howl Me In.
That mile in the Sire Stakes, it went in 1:57.4. He had the 8-hole, or she had the 8-hole. She's drawn in 2-2. That's a good mile, and hasn't made the board this year as yet. Game On Girl, on the other hand, is 5 times on the board, is the second highest money winner. They're behind the gate.
Just remind
approach of the
folks,
starting gate.
programs are available on the OHHA website for free if you want to see what Tom and I are talking about.
That's ohha.com.
Here they come. Off and trotting, that's Charming Nancy going right out for the lead. Up on the outside, Bathsheba Oz as they race into the turn. Game On Girls gets away third. I've Got the Will fourth, and treading the field, How Me In. Racing to the backside and the first quarter mark. On top of the field, Josh Sutton and Charming Nancy showing the way. Bathsheba Oz racing second for Dan Noble. Pierce Henry and Game On Girls third. Ryan Stahl, I've Got the Will fourth. Trailing the field, How Me In and Herman Wheeler at the first quarter mark. 31 and 1. Into the turn, going to the 3/8 mark. Continue to show the way. That's Charming Nancy leading the pack by a length and a quarter. Bathsheba Oz racing second. Racing third. Game On Girls trotting fourth. Into the stretch first time, I've Got the Will. How Me In trails the field as they come to the halfway point. Charming Nancy takes them over to the half. Bathsheba Oz racing second as they race into the turn. Racing third on the outside, Game On Girls. At the half, 103, onto the backside. I've Got the Will, trots fourth, comes to the outside. How Me In trails the field. Herman Wheeler can see them all. Down the backside, going to the 3/4 mark. On top of the field, it's Charming Nancy by a length. Up on the outside, second, Game On Girls. Bathsheba Oz racing third. Fourth is the race into the turn. I've Got the Will at the 3/4 mark. 1:33 and 3 into the final turn. On top of the field, it's Charming Nancy with the lead. Closing on the outside with every stride. Now second as they race into the stretch. It's Game On Girls. Less than an 8 to go in Ohio. 4 of them across the track. Coming to the wire. It's Charming Nancy hanging tough all the way to the wire. Bathsheba Oz second. Game On Girls was third. Mile 2:04.
So we spent all that time talking about horses jumping shadows. We had 2 set of pacers the first 2 races. Then we get to 2-year-old filly trotters, which some would say the horse that stays flat would win. And we had no breaks in that race. All 5 of them stayed flat. Very competitive race. Josh Sutton controlled the fractions. Half in 103, came the back half in 101. It was magnificently driven. I thought Pierce Henry really gave that Game On Girls a game effort. Had to pull here at the half. Got up there and headed the eventual winner, Charming Nancy, but those back half fractions being parked out made it kind of tough. She did hang on for third, and the 6-horse came in second, I believe.
Yes, it was a 4.63 unofficial. Coming last half in 101, and they were all, as Steve said, they were as flat as a pancake. None of them, and with the 2-year-old filly trotter, they're usually the worst offenders. But they will make liars of everybody, they do.
Should remind folks, October the 3rd, Hollywood Dayton Raceway, the final for the Buckeye Stallion Series, a Saturday night. We'll be racing for over $1 million. $1 million that night at Hollywood Dayton Raceway. They've got a few other races that night that'll be interesting, but I believe all 8 divisions will race in the final. $60,000 for each of those.
This time, moving into the winner's circle, the winner of the 3rd race, Buckeye Stallion Series, 2-year-old filly trot, 1st division, number 4, Charming Nancy. Chris Beaver, Joe Sabranco, M. McLaughlin, and M. Carter. Chris Beaver, the trainer. Josh Sutton in the sulky. 2-year-old filly by Uncle Peter at a Caviar for the lady. Home a winner in 2:04. Final half 1:01. The final quarter 30 2/5. Charming Nancy and Josh Sutton.
Comes the happy winners. They're making the mad dash for the winner's circle. Ain't nothing like a win.
Looks like the winners get a nice care package, compliments of the Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association. If I've got some inside information, I'll provide you with what's
Results
actually in there.
Number 1, Howl Me In, 5. The 2, I've Got the Will, 4. The 3, Game On Girls, 3. The 4, Charming Nancy, the winner. Number 5 was scratched. Number 6, Bathsheba Oz, 2. Top down, 5, 4, 3. 1 scratch, 2 on the bottom. The mile 2:04. Final half 1:01. Final quarter 30 2/5. In the 4th race, number 1, Rock's Fantasy. The driver, Tyler Smith. The 3, Imagine It, Ryan Stahl. The 7, Case Con, Jeff Nysonger. 7 of you, 2-year-old Colt Pacer, 2nd division. Bring them out. Race 4.
And we'll be coming back from the 4th race.
Just one note, these winners today, the owner or caretakers, they get a nice little cooler there, and I guess inside that cooler is numerous gift cards for gas and food. So not only do you win a nice purse, you get a nice little care package as well.
That's a good thing for the caretakers and owners. Just a good way to say good job. But we'll be coming back for the 4th race here at Urbana, the Champaign County Fair. The Buckeye Stallion Series, 3rd leg, 2-year-old pacing colts and geldings, 2nd division of 5 divisions tonight. They have 7 in it to win it, and we will be back shortly after these messages from our sponsors.
Midland Anchors, established over 50 years ago, is leading the way in harness racing resurgence in the great state of Ohio. Over their 600 acres, many premier broodmares, yearlings, and stallions are able to roam. Midland Anchor's success in the past provides momentum for the future. So, if you are breeding your mare or purchasing a yearling, Midland Anchors will put you in the winner's circle, doing our best to bring you the best.
Be sure to catch the new podcast, The Top of the Stretch, presented by the Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association. The podcast keeps fans of racing in the Buckeye State up to date on various topics concerning the sport of harness racing. The news and views of top officials, owners, trainers, drivers, and breeders in Ohio. That's the all-new podcast, Top of the Stretch, on the Facebook page of the Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association. Be there!
U.M. Partial was raised with horses in rural southern Ohio in the small village of Hillsboro. After a stint in the Army during World War I, Partial attended veterinary college, and in 1920, the 22-year-old student purchased a farmer's road horse and raced it to make a nice profit. He graduated from school, started his own practice, but gave it up to train horses. Thus began the career of Doc Partial. Originally based out of Washington Courthouse, by 1928, Partial had won the prized Ohio Governor's Cup 4 consecutive years with 4 different horses. He was the leading teamster in the country, taking the title in 13 of 15 years, including winning the 1934 Hambletonian at the age of 36, and then again in 1939. Partial would call Urbana home and would develop numerous world champions, and at one point when there were but 5 3-year-old paces on the coveted 2-minute list, Doc had put 4 of them there. In the mid-1930s, Partial befriended a 20-something kid by the name of Delvin G. Miller and mentored the promising talent. When Miller returned from his service in Southeast Asia after World War II, it was Doc who urged Miller to buy the recently retired Adios as a stallion. Doc turned the reins and his horses over to Delvin Miller, before he passed in Urbana in November of 1950, and as a lasting testimony to Parshall's ability, that year both the Hambletonian and Little Brown Jug were won by Miller, with Doc's former students Lusty Song and Dudley Hanover. Dr. Hugh M. Parshall was enshrined as an immortal into the Harness Racing Hall of Fame in 2004.
We're back. Thomas Pye, that was an excellent background on Urbana, Ohio, which has a lot of history in this sport. One of the famous names, Dick Buxton, and has, I think, a son still active in the sport. But Dick Buxton was from just up the road. I'll mention one other name that comes to mind just because he was a very good catch driver in Northwest Ohio at Toledo Raceway Park. Charlie Brown, the Brown family originated, I believe, from this area. And as far as I was concerned, he was one of the best catch drivers, very underrated. But Charlie won the driving title at Raceway Park numerous times. But looking at this next fourth race, the post parade's about to happen here. We've got two horses that have won 4 in a row, the 3-horse and the 4-horse. This should be very interesting to watch. We'll talk more about that after this post parade.
They have they got a couple of horses still warming up. So, but as you said, Steve, the race winning streak is on the line. Attaboy Chris with Doc Holliday in the... I'm so proud of myself. Doc Holliday, you know who that is. That's our colleague and cohort, Chris Patterson, has always loved to call him Doc Holliday, down and through the Southern Valley Colt Circuit.
Yeah, I saw the 1 and 2 horse lined up down here, and I was trying not to get talked over by Roger. So
you got talked over by me instead.
I did, and then this race. Take a look at this 3-horse. Imagine It has raced its last 2 starts at county fairs, both at Eaton and at Sydney. Look at those last quarters. This horse on a county fair track came the last quarter at Eaton in 28-3, and before that at Sydney in 28-4. I've been on both of those tracks. I'm not sure I could go that fast on a 3-wheeler, a motorized 3-wheeler. That is moving. Very impressive. And just for good measure, the 2 starts prior to that came home in 29 and then 28-4. But a mile of 55 at Scioto and a mile of 54-3 at Northfield Park. Imagine It. Kent Wilcox, Ryan Stahl's driving today. 7 starts, 6 wins, and 1 second. If I Can Dream. Do you know who If I Can Dream is out of?
Got me. I don't.
I might be wrong, but I thought If I Can Dream is a Western Terror. And at one time, Scott Hagemeyer will correct me, but I think If I Can Dream stood at Hagemeyer Farms along with Western Terror. Now, If I Can Dream, I think might be in Illinois or Michigan now, but I think If I Can Dream is out of Western Terror, I think.
Okay, but it does show Michigan breeding, and he's owning Michigan, Hillsdale, Michigan. Richard Kopp, longtime horseman. If I'm not mistaken, he may have had Gun That Won the West, which happens to be the sire of the Dam. I think he trained Gun That Won the West. Somebody will correct me. I guess on the broadcast, I'm correct until proven otherwise.
2-year-old colt pace, second division. Buckeye Stallion Series. $17,500. The 1, Rocks Fantasy, Tyler Smith. Number 2, Natus Filou, Dan Noble. Number 3, Imagine It, Ryan Stahl. Number 4, Attaboy Chris, the driver, Ken Holliday. Number 5, Desperado, Anthony McDonald. The 6 is Dive Bar, Chris Page. And the 7, Case Con, Josh Sutton. In the sulky. Horses go to the gate. Race 4. Barn area, get them ready for the 5th. 2-year-old filly pace, 7 of you. Get them ready. Race 5.
And this will be a shootout between Imagine It and Attaboy Chris. They will be gunning for the lead because they both show cutting the mile effortlessly in their...
One of our directors just texted me, Joe McLeod, Sugar Valley Farms. We've got over 320 people watching, which I think is a record. I think the record was at the Wood County Fair the day Anthony McDonald showed up, and his fans from all over the stable dossier were watching. I think we got up to about 232 that day, but over 320 people. That's great. I really appreciate that. OHHA and the Horsemen appreciate you guys tuning in today, and hopefully you'll recognize a few of the sponsors that make all this possible. But anyway, it's if anybody that has my personal cell phone has any questions or want to text me, go right ahead. So who was your pick this race, Tom?
I do have to go with Doc Holliday and Attaboy Chris. He did win at Northfield. It's an amazing mile up there in the last...
That was the Summit County race, I believe. The Summit County Fair, win by 4 lengths, 153 and 4, going for $6,900. This will be this horse's first attempt in what I would call the deeper water, the Buckeye Stallion Series. Imagine It has been in the Stallion Series and won both of its attempts in that. I like the 3 over the 4 with the 2.
Starter has called the horses to the gate.
This is it. This is the decisive 2 minutes. Who is going to be the leader in points in the Buckeye Stallion Series? They're all in behind the gate.
Horse approaching the starting gate.
That's the style, Charlie.
2-year-old colt pacers are all in behind the Wupkenberg starting gate. The gate swings into the stretch, and here they come. They're off and pacing, that's Imagine It, going right out for the lead. Up on the outside, Dive Bar to the top. Attaboy Chris off stride into the turn. Racing up on the outside, now third as they race to the backside. It's Desperado. Down the backside they go. Rock's Fantasy is 4th. Racing 5th, Case Con. Back 6 now is Attaboy Chris. And treading the field, Natives Fulu at the first quarter mark. Field by the quarter. 28 flat as they race into the turn. On top by a length and a half, it's Imagine It. Right there, second is Dive Bar. Racing third, Desperado as they pass the stand for the first time. Racing 4th, Rock's Fantasy. Coming to the halfway point, Case Con. Moving on the outside as they come over to the halfway station. It's Attaboy Chris, and treading the field, Natives Fulu at the halfway point. 57 and 4. On to the backside. Off stride was Case Con. On to the backside they go. Imagine It and Ryan Stahl by a length and a half. Dive Bar is here second. Racing third, Desperado. Down the backside they go. Rock's Fantasy is 4th. Attaboy Chris on the outside 5th. 3 wide at the 3 quarters. Natives Fulu now 5th. Now 4th on the outside. 27 and 1. Imagine It has the lead and opens up by 2.5. Racing second, Dive Bar. Closing on the outside third, Rock's Fantasy. Through the lane they come. On top of the field, it's all Imagine It and Ryan Stahl drawn away. Dive Bar second, Rock's Fantasy third.
156 and 1.
156, 1/5.
New track record, I believe. I could be wrong, which I was wrong a few minutes ago. So imagine it. If I Can Dream Colt is a full brother to Western Terror. My correction, but they did both stand at Hagemeyer Farms. But If I Can Dream, a full brother to Western Terror, now makes it 5 in a row, 156 and 1. I might be wrong. It might have been last year. They may have broke the previous track record, but we'll confirm that. Impressive mile. We had another unfortunate break in that first turn.
Yes, my pick.
Doc Holliday, and right now the sun is covering up those.
It's all gone now.
Yeah, it's going temporarily.
Well,
half and 57 and 4, and I thought they'd slow down a little bit from there, but they didn't slow down much.
Well, as you mentioned, Steve, he had been up racing at the Buckeye Stallion Series and win that, and he'd already won 2. Was a difference in class, and he showed it tonight. He was just cruising coming for home. Mile and 156 and 1.
This is a more than capable colt. Wow. Ryan was well in hand there. Entering the very picturesque winner circle, I see CoverLink Insurance is one of the sponsors.
In the winner circle, number 3, Imagine It. Richard Kopp of Hillsdale, Michigan. Kent Wilcox, the winning trainer. Ryan Stahl in the sulky. The 7th win in 8 starts for the 2-year-old gelding with If I Can Dream out of Katie Sure Shot. 156 and 1, final half, 58 and 2, final quarter, 29. 5 in a row in Ohio. Results are official. Number 1, Rock's Fantasy, 3. Number 2, Natus Filou, 5. The 3, Imagine It, the winner. Number 4, Attaboy Chris, 6. The 5, Desperado, 4. The 6, Dive Bar, 2. The 7, Case Con, 7. Top down, 3-5-1, 6-4-2, 7 on the bottom. The mile, 156, 1/5.
Great mile, 156
Upcoming 5th
and 1.
race. Josh Sutton on the 6. Willie, the filly. Field of 7, 2-year-old filly pacers. Bring them on. Race 5.
So with that great mile, we're going to be heading into the 5th race. 2nd division of 2-year-old pacing fillies. The 2nd of 5. Some pretty good fillies in here. We have 7 in it to win it. 7 starts from the 2nd tier. But race 5 from Urbana, Ohio, the Champaign County Fair. We will be back after a few words from our sponsors.
When you need supplies for your horse, one name stands out: Big D's. Since 1974, Big D's Tack and Vet Supply has been the equine experts you can trust. Whatever your horse needs is available at Big D's Tack and Vet Supply. Visit the retail outlet in Streetsboro, Ohio, or order online at bigdweb.com. Most orders shipped that day, or call 1-800-321-2142. Big D's Tack and Vet Supply.
Cool Winds Farm in Lima, Ohio wants to thank all of the breeders that supported our first season, standing the popular sire, Dancin' Yankee. Cool Winds also stands the fast son of Some Beach Somewhere, Santa Fe Beach Boy, and 2015 Little Brown Jug runner-up Lost for Words, who engaged in an epic battle with Wiggle It Jiggle It, and whose first crop will sell this fall. Be sure to visit Randy and Kim Haynes in the Cool Winds Farm consignment at the Ohio Selected Jug Sale at Pickaway Ag Center on Friday, September 18th.
Let's get to know Chris Presley. Chris, how'd you get started in the horse racing business?
I grew up in Michigan, and my grandmother was involved with the horses as I was growing up. I'd spend the winter breaks and summer breaks in Saginaw, Michigan, training horses with her. Kind of. I didn't learn a whole lot when I was young. I wasn't really that involved. But as I grew older, I worked for a couple of guys and took off from there and moved down to Ohio.
What's your first memory of county fair racing?
My first memory of county fair racing. I drove a filly for Darrell Hoosier named Angela Nicole. She was a little hard-headed, to say the least. She just wanted to leave like a rocket every week, and we did. And a lot of the times it was my first couple starts, and the guys didn't know me, and I was getting parked, and we finally got her out of there on the front, and she won a maiden race, and that was my first win at Croton. So that was fun, but it wasn't fun getting parked.
What's your best memory of racing at fairs?
I'd have to say last summer, Metalambosa, as a 2-year-old, win 5 in a row.
What do you do when you're not around the horses?
I'm never not around the horses. But if I ever get a chance to get away, I like to play a lot of basketball and go fishing at the farm pond that we're at.
Do you have a favorite horse you've driven?
I would have to say Metalambosa because we broke. I helped Mike break him and train him, and he's become a really, really nice animal. And he's given me my first Stallion Series win and my second Stallion Series win.
What's the best part about doing what you do?
I have been helping Mike for a while, breaking colts and stuff, and there's nothing better than getting a colt broke from day one, getting it started, getting it to the races, and winning your first race with it. There is nothing on this planet. I've won basketball tournaments, I've won baseball tournaments. There's nothing that can get you more proud of yourself and proud of your animals than winning your first race with a horse that you broke.
What's your favorite fair food?
Fried pickles, all day long.
That's getting to know Chris Presley.
Well, that was well put by Chris. I know Chris Presley. He actually lived in the town that I live in, Bowling Green, for a while. He worked for a gentleman named Ray Farmer at the Wood County Fair. But a Michigander that's been very successful. He's having the best year he's had working for Mike Menters. They got some really good stock. So as we look at this fifth race, I think it's an intriguing race. It's not very often you see horses show up at the Buckeye Stallion Series that are coming off of wins at the Wood County Fair, but both the 1 and the 3 raced on Monday, August the 3rd. The one horse, Walsed, won in 204 flat with Pierce Henry driving. It's got Chris Page, I believe, today. And the 3, Well and Down, Jason McGinnis horse trained, Anthony McDonald drove in 2-5. I was there that day. Actually, Tom and I made the call. We had a lot of rain the day before, and maybe the 2 days before. That track was deep and slow. So 205 and 204 doesn't sound that impressive. I'm telling you, those were like 58 miles for the track conditions.
Absolutely. That Well and Down, that, as you pointed out, they said he's a nice colt. He's been at the Buckeye Stallion Series. He won that at Scioto. And that he's now 2 for 2 this year. And he's a Well-Said out of a Real Artist mare. And that mile and 2.5, he win by 5 or 9.
By 9. And
opening up. And he's my pick in this race.
I have to agree with you. I like a 3-1. Actually, the 1 is a Well-Said as well. And Well-Said, this is the first crop of Ohio Well-Saids. I believe this crop was bred at Sugar Valley Farms, Joe McLeod and Billy Walters. And now Well-Said stands at Cool Winds Farms, Randy and Kim Haynes, Lima, Ohio. But there's some other nice horses in here. Ben Davis's Pet Rock filly, owned by Charles Purvis from Xenia, Ohio, has been first or second 4 out of 6 times. Did have a win at Lebanon at the Warren County Fair in 159 and was third in the Buckeye Stallion Series at Northfield Park. And followed that up with a second in the Buckeye Stallion Series at Scioto, pacing in 56-1. So Carla Lou and Tyler Smith.
And there's not one outstanding horse. There's 5 of them here that could take this race. At least.
You could make a case for all 7.
Filly Pace, 17,500, sponsored by the Ohio Harness Horsemen Association. Number 1, Wall Said with Chris Page. Number 2, Heaven is So Far Away, Dan Noble. Number 3, Well and Down, Anthony McDonald. Number 4, Clara Lou, Tyler Smith. The 5, Susie Finn, Jeff Nysonger. The 6, Willie the Filly, Ryan Stahl. And the 7, Amy L., Hank Levan in the sulky. Horses go to the gate. Race 5. Barn area, get them ready for the 6th. 2-year-old filly trotters, 7 of you, get them ready. Race 6.
Joe McLeod reminds me that Well Said is still standing, at least as far as he knows, still standing in at Delaware. My apologies, but so as we look at this, I'll give you a little local flavor. Hank Levan's trained horse, he from Woodstock, which Woodstock is a town here in Champaign County in the northeast part of Champaign County. This horse is named Amy L. Rumor has it was named after track rep Amy Holler. I don't know if that is true, but that's the rumor. Amy L., the 7 horse, and if only this horse could talk, we might know a little more. But really, got 11 starts this year, 1 win. Has made $8,700. Has been racing at the fairs. Had a nice win at Marysville, wire to wire, and 204 flat. I really like this race. I mean, I think you can make a case for several of them in here. If you take a look at the 2 horse, the Annette Lorenzen horse, a Racing Hill filly, has raced in the State Fair and in the Sire Stakes and in the Buckeye Stallion Series. So she's tried them all. Did win on July 13th at Northfield Park in the Buckeye Stallion Series in 154-1. So should be an entertaining race, Tom.
And that was her first lifetime start, too. She had qualified twice. She got 3 starts, 1 win. That 1 win, first lifetime start in the Buckeye Stallion Series. That was on July 13th. 154-1 at Northfield, half-mile track. So I do believe it's on the inside just because post position will play a little bit of a factor in here. And they are pretty much evenly matched. They are all good 2-year-old pacing fillies.
Well, I mean, one of the things, we have 7 horses in here, Tom, and all 7 have won a race this year. I mean, that's pretty remarkable.
Starter has called the horses to the gate.
And the moment of truth will soon be on us as they go into the gate at Urbana and the Champaign County Fair.
Horse approaching the starting gate.
I've got my thing up here now. I was up here one year and I'm like, this is a bad place to be right here. We held the table. It was all huddled over there in the corner.
2-year-old filly pacers are all in behind the gate. The gate swings into the stretch and here they come. Off and pacing, that's Clara Lou. Going for the lead on the outside. Wall Said gets away second. Heaven is So Far Away, racing third. Tucking in fourth is Willie the Filly. As they race around the turn, Well and Down, racing fifth. Sixth is Amy L. Treading the field, Susie Finn. All in straight alignment down the backside. Chris Page doesn't like sitting in the 2-hole. Moves Wall Said to the top and opens up to a quick 2.5 length lead at the first quarter mark.
29-1.
29 1/5. Into the turn, Clara Lou racing second. As they race around the turn, racing third. Heaven is so far away. Tips to the outside for Dan Noble. Racing fourth, Willie the Filly. Into the lane first time, well and down. Racing fifth, Amy L. 6. Susie Finn trails as Jeff Bysauer can see them all coming to the halfway point. Heaven is so far away, and Dan Noble up on the outside to grab the race trail. 58-4 as they race by the half and go to the 5/8 mark. Heaven is so far away, leads by a length. Racing second, right all over Noble's helmet is Wall Said. Down the backside they go. Here comes Well and Down, and Anthony McDonald. Now fourth, now third, and closing on the outside at the 3/4 mark. Heaven is so far away with the lead at the 3/4 mark. 1:29 around the turn. Wall Said second. Well and Down continuing to close on the outside third. Racing fourth, Willie the Filly. Less than an 8 to go in Ohio. Heaven is so far away, has the lead by 2.5. Coming out of the pocket now, Wall Said after the leader, but no doubt about it, it's all Heaven is so far away. Wall Said, Well and Down. 158 1/5.
Yeah.
In a mile in 1:58-1, last half in 59-2.
Good race. I mean, one of the last horses we talked about was this Annette Lorenzen's Racing Hill filly. Was kind of entertaining here. Chris, I thought, had the fractions in hand and looked over to his right first time around as we were coming to the half and saw Dan Noble coming in a hurry. And I think Chris thought about stepping on the gas, but if he did, he didn't step on it quick enough because Dan got to the top. And on the backside, Chris was really kind of running over Dan. Anthony McDonald with Well and Down was on the outside. Chris couldn't really get out, but as they came around the last turn, Dan opened up a little bit in really a pretty impressive fashion. But Wall Said hung on for second, and Well and Down hung on for third, and pretty nice closing was Ryan Stahl, I believe, came in fourth.
So again, it was unofficial 2-1-3, and
the 6 was fourth.
The 6 was fourth. Sutton Willie the Filly was fourth, but 2-1-3. I thought it was all on the inside here, just primarily because the position and the way there was going to. Everyone's going to leave out there. In fact, Amy L. with Hank Levan went to leave out. He had a little bit tight in the first turn. He had to back her off to last, right?
Yeah, and worse than that, Susie Finn, the 5-horse, made kind of a nasty break.
Equaling the track record for 2-year-old filly pacers. Number 2, Heaven is so far away. Annette Lawrenston of Paris, Kentucky, the owner-trainer. Dan Noble drives 2-year-old filly by Racing Hill at a book babe. 158 1/5, equaling the mark by Mavelis back in 2016. Josh Sutton, 158-1, equaling the track record. 2-year-old filly pacers. Heaven is so far away, and Dan Noble, 158-1.
And congratulations to...
Results are official. The 1, Wall Said, 2. The 2, Heaven is so far away, the winner. Number 3, Well and Down, 3. The 4, Clara Lou, 6. The 5, Susie Finn, did not finish. The 6, Willie the Filly, 4. The 7, Amy L, 5. Top down, 2-1-3. 6 DNF, 4. 5 on the bottom. The mile, 158-1. Final half, 59-2. Final quarter, 29-1, equaling the track record for 2-year-old filly pacers. 6th race, Dan Noble on the 1, Bougie Girl. Still need a driver on the 6, Hot Ice.
Josh Sutton.
Josh Sutton on the 7, Twisted Sister.
As we head into the 6th race here at Urbana. So again, the heaven is so far away. Congratulations to Annette Lorenzen. She's the owner, the breeder, and the trainer. That's what we work for on Heavens is So Far Away. Coming up, 2-year-old filly trotters after that track record by the 2-year-old filly pacer. This is 7 filly trotters. This is the 2nd of 4 divisions. And we will be back for the 6th after these few short messages.
Doctor, give me the news! Is it bad credit?
It's bad credit, and you need a car.
Can I be cured?
Yes, but your case needs immediate attention. Visit lowcostcarsoh.com or lowcostcarsnorth.com today. Bad credit, no credit, don't worry. Start driving today.
I've been cured! I can get a car! Woo!
Even if you're sick with bad credit, get a great car today at either Low Cost Cars locations in Circleville and Columbus.
Your animals provide unconditional love. When they hurt, you want the best care available to help them enjoy life again. The Ohio State Veterinary Medical Center is here for you and for them. From heart disease to cancer, diabetes to broken bones, and 24-hour emergency services, Ohio State's team of experts make a difference in the lives of animals and the family members who love them. The Ohio State Veterinary Medical Center.
Put this number, it's time for text trivia. Put this number in your phone. You should have it up already. 614-633-5554. Again, 614-633-5554. If you saw the feature earlier about Doc Parshall, Urbana's own Doc Parshall, one of the better horses he had was King's Counsel. Took a mark of 158 way back when. He had a daughter by the name of Countess Vivian, who was a world champion. She paced in 159 and she made almost 50,000. She had a more famous son. Was her son, her foal, was it at
This meringue elegant GG highs. Twisted Sister, bring her right on. Read 7 for the 6, come right on.
Was her famous son A. Adios Butler?
Driver changes into 6, 1 Gucci Code in little 1. 7 Twisted Sister, make the driver John Sutton. We'll drive the 7 Twisted Sister.
Was her famous son A. Adios Butler? B. Henry T. Adios?
6 hot ice, Josh Sutton drives the 6 hot ice. Sandy Boone, the 7 Twisted Sister.
Or C. Meadow Skipper. Countess Vivian's famous son. Was it A. Adios Butler, B. Henry T. Adios, or C. Meadow Skipper? Yep. I'll be taking the 2nd and the 5th text, correct text. 2.
5, need 2, come right on 5, need 2.
614-633-5554. That's who was the famous son of Countess Vivian? A. Adios Butler, B. Henry T. Adios, or C. Meadow Skipper? 2nd and 3rd, 2nd and 5th to correct text. Good luck from the Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association. There, I did it.
2-year-old filly trotters here. Another outstanding field. We got a couple horses with winning streaks. The one horse comes in here with back-to-back wins, as does the 4 horse, as does the 7 horse. So somebody's going to lose today. There'll be 6 of them lose and 1 of them win, but a really nice field, some interesting stories. After the post parade, we'll talk.
For the 6th race, 2nd Division 2-year-old filly trotters, Buckeye Stallion Series, 3rd Division, $17,500. Sponsored by the Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association. Number 1, Bougie Girl, the driver Dan Noble. Number 2, WF Fire, Tyler Smith drives. The 3, Fauna with Chris Page. Anthony McDonald driving a 4, Miss Meringue. Number 5 is Elegant GG, the driver Ryan Stahl. 6, Hot Ice for Josh Sutton. And number 7, Twisted Sister, Sandy Beatty in the sulky. They'll go to the gate in 3 minutes. I'd like to thank Hall of Famer Roger Houston for calling the first 5. He's called 189,000 races in his career. 61 years ago, he called some of his first races right here at the Champaign County Fair. Called the fair from 1960 to 73, and I took over in 74 to today. So big thanks to Roger Houston. 61 years ago calling races here at the Champaign County Fair. He said the grandstand was 2 years old back then.
Roger has joined us, but we have our winners for text trivia.
All right.
We had lots answering. Smart people out there. The King's Council Mare, Countess Vivian. She was a foal of 1950. In the first foal, she had total of 11 foals from 1956 to 1968. Probably her most famous was a foal of 1960 by the name of Meadow Skipper. He was by Dale Frost. He won $428,000 back then. Earl Avery trained him. Of course, Adios Butler, Henry T. Adios, did something that Meadow Skipper didn't, is that they won the Little Brown Jug. Henry T. Adios and Adios Butler, 1959 or 1961. But Meadow Skipper was second. Here's a little added text trivia for you.
I'm sure Roger could add to that story. So as we look at the 6th race before they turn and go to the gate, we talked about we had 3 horses in here with winning streaks. The 1, the 4, and the 7. I give a little side note. You know, we got some horses that come to the county fair that what I would call value propositions. This 4 horse, Miss Meringue, I think was one of the top selling yearlings last year at the Ohio Select Sale, sold for $60,000.
Starter has called the horses to the gate. Get them ready for the 7th. Get them ready for the 7th.
So that horse sold for $60,000, and they've had it at 2 county fair races back to back to build some confidence at Painesville, Ohio, and Bowling Green, and won both of them. Now it steps into the Buckeye Stallion Series here at Urbana. Let's see how she does.
I do like
They're at the gate. Gates rolling. It's post time for the 6th. Off field is 7. 2-year-old filly trotters, Buckeye Stallion Series, 2nd Division, are all in behind the gate, and here they come. They're off and running. That's Bougie Girl for the lead. WF Fire on the outside. Into the turn. Miss Meringue racing on the outside 3rd. Coming out in 4th is Hot Ice. Finding a spot 5th. Twisted Sister jumps it off. Is all stride. Elegant GG on the outside and trailing the field. Fauna off the turn and onto the backside. Going on over to the opening quarter. On top of the field, WF Fire, Tyler Smith. Here comes Bougie Girl and Dan Noble. Now second and headed to the front end, but stretching her out. WF Fire on the inside. Bougie Girl, they're stride for stride by the quarter, 29-1. Gapped away, racing fifth. That's Miss Meringue. A break is some 7 to Hot Ice. Then comes Elegant Gigi into the lane first time. Twisted Sister, second to last. And trailing the field is Fauna. Coming on over the half, and WF Fire has won the early battle. Bougie Girl and Noble will back off and take the 2-hole trip. Miss Meringue racing third. Fourth into the turn, Hot Ice. Halfway home, 58-1. On the 5/8 they go. WF Fire shows the way. Bougie Girl right there second. Racing third. Down the backside, Miss Meringue. On the move on the outside, Ryan Stahl. Elegant Gigi. Now fifth, now fourth, now third. Midpoint of the backside. Elegant Gigi closing in on the leaders. At the 3/4, 130 around the final turn. WF Fire, Bougie Girl 3 wide. Elegant Gigi coming on with every stride. Set to come 4 wide. Miss Meringue down the stretch, a trot. Hot Ace looking for some racing room. Less than an 8 to trot. Whip the lead. Trotters turn for home. Elegant Gigi inside the final 16th. Elegant Gigi gives Ryan Stahl his second winner on the card.
Wow.
5-6-2, unofficial.
Elegant Gigi had 3 seconds in a row, and that was a interesting race to say the least. We had a quarter move there by Dan Noble with Bougie Girl, and was not able to get there, and tucked back in. 58-1 for 2-year-old filly trotters at Urbana. That's a pretty snappy first half, and they all looked a little leg weary coming for home, other than Elegant Gigi, the DeJarnbro filly out of a Conway Hall mare.
Is the time 58-1? If it is, that's shattered the track record.
The half was 58-1.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if I heard the call. 3/4 was 130 flat, but the half was 58-1 off of a 29-1 opening quarter.
Track record's 202 and 2/5.
I would say we may have a new track record. I think they came home maybe in 31 and a piece.
That was quite the mile.
Yeah, going to the 3/4 pole, coming out of the turn there, Miss Meringue, Anthony McDonald started to pull to make a move, and she got a little bit rough, and he decided, I think I better just sit tight here and wait. And Ryan Stahl just picked up all the pieces. Win 'em all Stall, they call them up in Tiffin and Attica, from Republic, Ohio, coming back the winner circle.
Moving into the winner circle, you winner of the 6th, second division. 2-year-old filly trot, Buckeye Stallion Series, number 5, Elegant Gigi. The 2-year-old brown filly died, Junior Marmbro out of the Conway Hall mare. Glide Up My Way. Rosie Weaver, Beach City, Ohio, owns and trains. Ryan Stahl in the sulky, trotting a mile, 2:01, 4/5. It's a lifetime mark for the winner and a track record for 2-year-old filly trotters here at the Champaign County Fairgrounds. Previous record set in 2018 by Tyler Smith and Lady Calls the Shots. Tonight, Elegant Girl and Ryan Stahl, 2:01, 4/5. 6th race is official. Bougie Girl 5, WF Fire 3, Fauna 6, Miss Meringue 4, Elegant Gigi the winner, Hot Ice 2, Twisted Sister 7, the mile 2:01, 4/5. Establishes a new track record for 2-year-old filly trotters here at the Champaign County Fairgrounds. Fractions of 29-1, 58-1, and 130. 5, 3, 6, 4, 1, 2, 7 on the bottom. 7th race coming up in 8 minutes. Number 1, Wiggle It Jim. Make the driver Josh Sutton. Josh Sutton. Tries the 1, Wiggle It Jim. Scratch number 2, Open My Eyes. Scratch the 2, Open My Eyes. Number 7, Pike and Perch, will be driven by Jeff Nysunger. Jeff Nysunger drives the 7, Pike and Perch. Pike and Perch, Weekend Pass, Rockin' Republic, Twig, Rose Run Walker, and Wiggle It Jim. We need 6 for the 7th. Number 2 is scratched. Bring 'em right on.
Observations, Mr. Houston.
One of the fastest half-mile tracks in the state of Ohio, outside of Greenville, Xenia, and Delaware.
Catcher plays number 1, Wiggle It Jim. Make the driver Ryan Stahl.
And that's
Ryan Stahl.
That's why you see all these fast miles that we're getting here tonight.
Will drive the 7.
For a county fair track to be fast, you got to have somebody that has a big stable that trains here the entire year. And here at Urbana, it's Kim Daly.
Yeah, Kim Daly. There's several other trainers here that have, what I'd say moderate-sized stable. Matt Rowe is here, I believe.
Clarence Falk.
Clarence Falk, which has a big stable. I think David Loff might have some horses here. But this track is manicured and taken very, very good care of. They actually have a grader on the grounds here that they own. I'll mention Vice President of the OHHA, Randy Leopard, is a past Fair Board President of the Champaign County Fair. He actually has a few horses he owns with Kim Daly.
We'll be back with more after these messages.
With more than 300,000 horses in Ohio, the economic impact of the equine industry in the state is over $2.8 billion. Much of that value comes from standardbred horse owners, breeders, trainers, and drivers who participate in the sport of harness racing. The mission of the Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association is to preserve, protect, promote, and serve the entire standardbred industry in Ohio and beyond. To learn more about the Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association, go to ohha.com. That's ohha.com.
Midland Anchors, established over 50 years ago, is leading the way in harness racing resurgence in the great state of Ohio. Over their 600 acres, many premier broodmares, yearlings, and stallions are able to roam. Midland Anchors' success in the past provides momentum for the future. So, if you are breeding your mare or purchasing a yearling, Midland Anchors will put you in the winner's circle, doing our best to bring you the best.
They were originally called trotting thoroughbreds due to the fact that the fastest and the most durable ones descended from the thoroughbred Messenger, who was foaled in England in 1780, where he was a champion of the turf. He was exported to Philadelphia in 1788 to stand stud, and people soon realized that his sons and daughters wouldn't readily break into a run when asked to do so, but stay trotting. Soon it became a sport to see how fast it could go without making a break. The Gray Stallion was crossed to mares of many different breeds, but most notably the family of Figure, a foal of 1789, who was known better as the Justin Morgan horse. In 1836, a gray 3-year-old mare was spotted hauling an oyster wagon in Babylon on Long Island. It was bought for $112, which was about $4,000 in today's money. She had Morgan lineage in her breeding and crosses on both sides of her pedigree to Messenger. Her name was Lady Suffolk. Lady Suffolk would be the first trotter to eclipse the 2 minutes and 30 seconds barrier and would take her mark of 2:26.5 at Hoboken, New Jersey, under saddle at the age of 16 in 1849. She was injured from kicking the whiffletree on a buggy, which was the crossbar that hung for balance behind the horses, but her career totals were 161 starts with 88 wins in 56 seconds. The old gray mare amassed $35,000 in earnings, a cool $1.1 million nowadays. We remember her to this day when we sing The Old Gray Mare, She Ain't What She Used to Be, many long years ago. She was a great racehorse because Lady Suffolk definitely had an attitude, and that attitude was winning.
We're back live here at Champaign County Fairgrounds. They're in Urbana, Ohio. We're coming up the 6th race. Just our winners for Tex Trivia. We have Jake Hurst from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, who says Ohio fair racing is the best. Thank you, Jake.
Thank you.
And Kyle Conti from Columbus, Ohio.
How about that?
Congratulations. You've won a prize from the Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association. We're playing one more today. This is Steve Bateson. And Mr. Bateson?
So let's elaborate a little bit on that text trivia. Doc Partial talked Delvin Miller into looking at Adios. Roger, can you add a little bit to, did he arm twist him into Adios, or how did this come about?
The reason Doc Partial told Delvin that he should purchase Adios, but Mary Lib was against it. She didn't want him to pay $20,000 for a horse.
To look at number one, Wiggle and Jim. The driver is Ryan Stahl. Number 2 is Scratch. Number 3, Roast Run Walker with Tyler Smith. 4, Twig, Chris Page drives. Number 5 is Rockin' Republic with Ronnie Gillespie. 6, Weekend Pass for Dan Noble. And number 7 is Pike and Perch, Jeff Neisonger in the sulky. They'll go to the gate in 3 minutes.
So Delvin had to find some way to convince Mary Lib that it was all right for him to purchase
a $20,000 horse.
So they were at Indianapolis, and Delvin says, I got to stay an extra day. Is it all right if, Doc, if you take Mary Lib back to Pennsylvania? The plan was hatched that in that trip to Pennsylvania, Doc Partial would talk Mary Lib into putting up $20,000. The only problem is Delvin only had $20,000, and he bid $20,100, having to borrow $100. The rest of the story, the auctioneer hammered it down at $21,000. So Delvin had to come up with another $900 to get Adios, but Mary Lib had to be convinced to buy Adios by Doc Partial. Even in those days, the women controlled the world.
Well, the rest you might say is history with Adios. Lord only knows how many he actually bred in his career, but that certainly was a bargain. You might say a bargain.
He did sell him to Hanover Shoe Farms, a portion of them, for $500,000 too.
How long after that?
Couple of years, I believe.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, but it's unbelievable. The stories of Doc Partial and.
Before we better talk a little about this race. One of the top 2-year-old pacers going to the post here, Twig. Mike Bohemus, winner 3 straight. Perfect 3 for 3. Only finished second in the qualifier, but has been perfect since then. Winning at Scioto, Northfield, and back at Scioto. 2 legs of the Buckeye Stallion Series, 53-3 and 54-1. So Twigs is one to beat in this one.
Interesting. Somewhat of a known commodity now, but Mr. Apples, stallion here in Ohio, and rumor has it Mr. Apples will be standing at Cool Wind Farms next year. But he's done very well with relatively small crops, but this horse is undefeated, looking to make it 4 in a row. But I think we'll have a little competition from the inside and a little bit from the outside with
Starter has called the horses to the gate.
Wiglet Jim from the inside did pace in 57 at Northfield Park in the Stallion Series back on the 13th of July. And before that at Scioto Downs paced in 55-4.
Wiglet Jim, though, got a very stale date. Last raced on July the 18th and then has 2 scratches, one due to sickness and the other due to transportation. So stale date for Wiglet Jim.
Right. I was at Bowling Green and know all about the transportation issues, so I think that horse is ready to go today. And from the inside, I think Twig will have to...
2-year-old pacers are rolling behind the gate. The gate swings down the stretch, and here they come. They're off that pace racing. That's Wigglet Jim from the inside. Bruce Run Walker on the outside, along with Twig as they race into the turn. Well placed for the Weekend Pass as they race around the turn. Then comes Pike and Perch racing on over to the opening quarter. Bruce Run Walker trails the field. They're 3 wide down the backside. Up on the outside, Ronnie Gillespie and a Rockin' Republic to the front. Twig gives way second. Will get the 2-hole trip. Wigglet Jim racing third. Weekend Pass next and fourth. Pike and Perch is fifth, and Rose One Rocker trails the field. 28 and 4/5, and out comes Chris Page with Twig. He wants the front end, giving way. Rockin' Republic second. Wigglet Jim third. Weekend Pass is fourth. Pike and Perch second to last, and sixth and last, Rose Run Walker, all in straight alignment as they pass the stand for the first time and race on over to the half. Twig trying to go 4 for 4. Rockin' Republic is second. Wigglet Jim is third. Weekend Pass fourth at the half in 58 seconds. Pike and Perch racing fifth. Rose Run Walker trails the field. Up the backside to the 3/4 they go. They're all chasing Twig. Right there second, Rockin' Republic. Third, Wigglet Jim taking a peek to the outside. Here comes Weekend Pass and Dan Noble. Pike and Perch is fifth. Rose Run Walker trails the field at the 3/4. Twig has the Pacers by 3/4, 128 and 1. And Twig rounds the final turn, leading away by a length. Here comes Weekend Pass on the outside, coming after the leader. Rockin' Republic is third. Wigglet Jim is fourth. They got less than an eighth of a mile to go. They're all chasing Twig. Coming to the line, it is Twig. Home second, Weekend Pass. Rockin' Republic third. Pike and Perch fourth.
The win goes to Twig. Continue his undefeated ways. A perfect 4 for 4. A winner tonight.
156, 1/5.
56 and 1. Final half, 58 and 1. Final quarter, 28 seconds for Twig.
465.
Chris had to make an early move. They were 3 wide at the 8th pole. Ron Gillespie got to the front, and Chris pulled on him early, just after the quarter, and retook the lead going to the half in 58, and tried to slow down a little bit. He got a little bit of a breather going to the 3/4, 30 and 1/5, and then had to face the challenge of Weekend Pass shortly after the 3/4 pole. But a very game effort by Twig, and a nice mile by Weekend Pass as well. A very competitive race.
Twig has been second or third every start at the quarter, and then powers up coming to the half, and usually it's history from there.
Those are pretty strong last quarters for a 2-year-old. Mr. Apples came home today 28 seconds. The previous week 28 and 3. The previous week 27 and 3. So a very nice colt. 3 wins in a row now in the Buckeye Stallion Series, and rumor has it will be standing. Mr. Apple's stud will be standing at Cool Wind Farms next year.
4 starts and $30,000
Moving into
in
the
the
Champaign
bank.
County Fair winner circle. Your winner of the 7th, the 3rd division of the Buckeye Stallion Series for 2-year-old colt pacers. Number 4, Twig. The 2-year-old Pico, the son of Mr. Apples, out of the Western Spirit Mare. Western Mandy is owned by Julie Farley of Bradford. Mike Paul Hamus trains. Chris Page gets his 2nd winning drive of the evening. The mile 156, 1/5. Twig 4 for 4 this year. Earnings right at $30,000. It's official. Wigglet Jim 5. Open My Eyes was scratched. Rose Run Walker 6. Twig the winner. Rockin' Republic 3. Weekend Pass 2. Pike and Perch 4. The time 156, 1/5. Fractions at 28 and 4. 58 seconds, 128 and 1. Top down 5 scratch 6, 1, 3, 2, 4 on the bottom. 8th race coming up in 8 minutes. The 3rd division of the 2-year-old filly pace. Number 3, McJingle. Make the driver Anthony McDonald. Anthony McDonald will drive number 3, McJingle. 4, Bear Creek Honey, Joss Sutton. Joss Sutton drives the 4, Bear Creek Honey. And number 7, Nora Tova, will be driven by Jeff Nysonger. Lovely Monroe racing somewhere, McJingle. Bear Creek Honey, Diamond Official. Smooth as Tennessee Whiskey and Nora Tova. Bring them right on.
Lovely Monroe, the driver will be Ryan Stahl. Ryan Stahl drives the 1, Lovely Monroe. As Chris Page drives Smooth as Tennessee Whiskey. Another horse that's a perfect 3 for 3. We'll be back with the 2-year-old filly Pacers, 3rd Division, after these messages.
Hey everyone, if you like horses, you'll love our podcast called Horsing Around. I'm Michelle Gatchell.
And I'm Kelly Bell. And we talk to horse breeders, trainers, and owners about something we all have in common: horses.
We have as much fun learning about horses as we hope you do listening to the people telling us their stories.
Listen Saturday mornings on WDLRradio.com.
Horsing Around is sponsored by the Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association. When you need supplies for your horse, one name stands out: Big D's. Since 1974, Big D's Tack and Vet Supply has been the equine experts you can trust. Whatever your horse needs is available at Big D's Tack and Vet Supply. Visit the retail outlet in Streetsboro, Ohio, or order online at bigdweb.com. Most orders shipped that day, or call 1-800-321-2142. Big D's Tack and Vet Supply.
Let's get to know Doc Holliday. How'd you get started in the horse racing business?
I got started in the business probably around 77. My mom bought half interest in a horse, and I started hanging around the barn area, and then I started working for Tom Thorpe's, and that's how I got started in the horse business.
What's your first memory of county fair racing?
First memory at county fair? Well, actually, my first memory of county fair racing was right here at Hilliard, Ohio. I believe it was 1988. I had a filly called JT's Dow Ripple, the first fair I've been to.
What do you like most about racing at the fairs?
Well, I like racing at the fairs. I mean, it's just kind of like, I want to kind of say like the backbone of the industry. You know, that's where people learn, they get their craft. Start at the fairs, they get their craft. It's where a lot of young horses are learning how to race. And it's just a really good atmosphere for harness racing.
What do you do when you're not around the horses?
Well, you try not to. Horses are a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week thing. You know, you can't get your mind off of it because this is how you make a living. So, and they're athletes too. So it's hard not to do too much when you're not around horses. I mean, it's just hard not to think about them. I used to play a lot of golf occasionally, but I've been busted up so bad, my shoulder, my wrist, so I don't play as good as I used to. So it's frustrating. So I just quit.
What's the worst injury you had driving a horse?
Oh, well, the last one was the worst one. Probably, I went down, busted up my shoulder, and I bruised my heart, my lungs, my kidneys. I was off about 3 years, so it's a tough deal to overcome.
Do you have a favorite horse you've driven?
Favorite horse I've driven. I probably would have to say the favorite horse I've driven is a horse called Hasty Hoosier. It was gelding by Nautilus. A lot of people don't probably remember that. Was the first horse. He was probably the favorite horse I drove. I got my first win with him. I went 3 or 4 in a row with him, and he was probably the favorite horse I had.
What's your favorite fair food?
Favorite fair food? Well, back in the day, when I was up around Cleveland, we used to get those. You used to win pork tenderloin sandwiches or whatever they was. So that's probably my favorite fair food.
That's getting to know Ken Doc Holliday.
Smooth as Tennessee Whiskey.
2.
And Nysonger's Nora Tova, 2 of 6 on the year.
Yeah, real good field. I mean, the 4-horse raced in the new race, the next generation race at Scioto Downs on the 4th of July, going for $150,000. Came in 4th, paced in 55 and 2.
4 need 3. Come right on. 4 need 3.
that horse has made $22,000 this year and hasn't won a race. It's come in second three times out of 4 starts. But
5 need 2.
And they bought Bear Creek Honey a week before the new generation.
5 need 2.
Corey Derriman, who trains at a county fair, I believe, in Jefferson. Ohio.
Fact is, I'm going to Jefferson and call the races Thursday and Friday. Believe it or
There
not.
you go. If you want to hear more of Roger, stand outside the fence at Jefferson.
With your mask on.
I'll turn the PA up a little louder.
5 need 2. Come right on. 5 need 2.
But that Bear Creek Honey is kind of an interesting story. A horse that didn't race that many years ago, School Kids is a sire. I don't know that he sired very many horses, but this Bear Creek Honey looks like an awful nice filly. I'm intrigued a little bit by the fact that horses struggles to get to the front. It's been parked the last 2 starts, gotten away second at the quarter, and then did clear to the front, but hasn't been able to hang on in the first 2 legs of the Stallion Series. You got to like this 6 horse, Roger. You've seen it race.
Yeah. Just been perfect, and I'm picking a lot of winners tonight. So far we've had 5 out of 7, but and I picked this one, Smooth as Tennessee Whiskey. Not only perfect 3 for 3, but I love the name.
Yeah, well, Smooth as Tennessee Whiskey, some would say there's no such thing, but this Nob Hill High,
$17,500. Buckeye Stallion Series, sponsored by the Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association. Number 1 is Lovely Monroe, the driver Ryan Stahl. Dan Noble tries the 2, racing somewhere. Number 3 is McJingle with Anthony McDonald. 4, Bear Creek Honey, Josh Sutton drives. 5, Diamond Official for Tyler Smith. Chris Page with a 6. Smooth as Tennessee Whiskey. And number 7 is Nora Tova. Jeff Nysonger in the sulky. They're going to the gate in 3 minutes.
Steve, you developed, so to speak, with some others, this Buckeye Stallion Series a few years back. You got to be tickled pink with how it's developed over the years, and the future's bright for this as well.
Yeah, I absolutely am very proud of this, and it's I can't take all the credit for it by no means, but I had the support of several people on the board, and we kind of crafted this thing. Some would have thought maybe a little bit early, but we really needed another place to classify these onslaught of Ohio-bred horses that were coming on, and we were in the midst of some new stallions coming to the state. And even though at the time we had 67 county fairs at that particular time, we really didn't have a good spot in between the sire stakes and the county fairs. And we weren't getting as many non-winners of 1 and non-winners of 2 race at the pari-mutuels. And this was just a natural fit by having a guaranteed purse and then being able to integrate those at some county fair tracks. Delaware is a big part of it. All divisions will be at Delaware. They have the last few years. We've raced these at Paynesville several years ago. We've raced at Bucyrus. I think this is the 3rd year now at Urbana. And I guarantee you, if we didn't have COVID-19 going on, we'd have probably 3,500 people here lined up all over the place. 3 years ago, I think, or 2 or 3 years ago, they wagered $36,000 here the night of the Buckeye Stallion Series, which is remarkable. $36,000 was wagered the first year we had it here.
14 races tonight, each with a purse of $17,500. Who would have ever thought?
Yeah, racing at a county fair track, a very good county fair track. But again, this gives the opportunity to influx money back to these owners. It all trickles down. These owners, spend a lot of money buying yearlings, train them in the fall, train them all winter. They've nominated them, entered them tonight, and hopefully they'll reinvest in some of these yearlings that will be at the sales in the next few weeks.
And it is drawing all the top drivers to be here tonight. Worth their while to come down here. I wonder who's driving some of the horses at Scioto Downs, because when you take Chris Page and Dan Noble and those guys away from Scioto, some guys are going to get a chance to shine brightly at Scioto tonight.
Absolutely, that's a good thing about tonight.
Yeah.
There's a few that chose not to come. Cameron McCown.
Gates rolling. It's post time.
And some others.
Brett Miller.
Yep.
In behind the gate, 2-year-old filly Pacers. Field of 7.
2-year-old filly Pacers, 3rd division, are all in behind the gate. Here they come. They're off and pacing. That's Lovely Monroe going for the lead. Smooth as Tennessee Whiskey, firing on the outside and headed to the front end. Racing Somewhere comes out in 3rd. Bear Creek Honey racing 4th. Nora Tova is 5th. McJingle is 6th. And Diamond Official trails the field 7th. Down the backside, going to the opening quarter. Lovely Monroe and Ryan Stahl have the lead. Smooth as Tennessee Whiskey will get the 2-hole trip and will race nose to helmet. 2 back to Racing Somewhere in 3rd by the opening panel in 29 seconds. Racing 4th, Bear Creek Honey. Nora Tova is 5th. Out and on the move on the outside. Here comes Anthony McDonald and McJingle. Diamond Official trails the field. Passing the stands first time. Coming on over to the halfway point. Lovely Monroe, the leader. Smooth as Tennessee Whiskey right there 2nd. Out and on the move, Bear Creek Honey from 3rd. Racing Somewhere. McJingle to the outside. Nora Tova the inside. Diamond Official on the outside. At the half, 59-4. Into the turn to the 5/8. Lovely Monroe will guide the field to the backside. Bear Creek Honey on the outside. Smooth as Tennessee Whiskey will need some racing room. McJingle is 4th. 5th is Racing Somewhere. 6th, Diamond Official. 7th and last, Nora Tova. They're at 3/4, and Lovely Monroe has the fillies by the 3/4 in 1:28-4. Around the far turn on the outside, Racing 2nd. Racing Somewhere looking for some racing room. Smooth as Tennessee Whiskey. Here comes Nora Tova on the outside. Down the stretch they come. Lovely Monroe. Smooth as Tennessee Whiskey goes right on by to give Chris Page his 3rd winner on the card. Lovely Monroe 2nd. Racing Somewhere home 3rd. 1:58 4/5.
Chris made that look like Smooth as Tennessee Whiskey, because I didn't think he was going to get out, Roger.
He was trapped in 3/4, but tiring off on the outside a bit. Bear Creek Honey around that final turn. And it also appeared to me, at least, Bear Creek Honey was having a little problems in the turn. I know in this turn going to the 5/8 bore out a little.
Yeah, and I think as he she entered the last turn, I think Josh was very careful there with a tired horse, and I think was bearing out a little bit even more. And when Chris popped this filly out, she went right on by in a hurry.
Brian Haynes, the trainer and the owner from Washington Courthouse, a perfect now 4 of 4, has the mark of 54-3 at Northfield. Winner here in 1:58-4.
Having a good year, Brian is. This is his 19th start as a trainer and his 9th win. Trains at Washington Courthouse. It's always nice to see the smaller stables excel in the Buckeye Stallion Series. And again, that's another reason the Buckeye Stallion Series was put into play, was to help maybe some of the medium and smaller stables.
Back to the winner's circle. 3rd win on the night for driver Chris Page. Smooth as Tennessee Whiskey. Brad Conrad with us, taking winner's
Back in front
circle
of the
pictures.
stands, your winner of the 8th, the 3rd division, 2-year-old filly pace, Buckeye Stallion Series. Number 6, Smooth as Tennessee Whiskey. This the 2-year-old bay filly by Knob Hill High, out of the Western Ideal mare. Tender Spirit is owned by Brian Haynes, Washington Courthouse, Ohio. Brian Haynes trains. Chris Page gets his 3rd winner of the evening here at the Champaign County Fair. 4 for 4 this year for Smooth as Tennessee Whiskey. The mile 1:58 4/5. This race sponsored by the Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association. 8th race is official. Lovely Monroe, 2. Racing Somewhere, 3. McJingle, 7. Bear Creek Honey, 5. Diamond Official, 6. Smoothest Tennessee Whiskey, the winner. Nora Tova, 4. 158, 4/5. 29 seconds, 59 and 4. 128 and 4. Top down, 2, 3, 7, 5, 6, 1. 4 on the bottom. 9th race in 8 minutes. Field is 7. 3rd division, 2-year-old filly trot. Number 3, Miss Georgie, will be driven by Dan Noble. Dan Noble to drive the 3, Miss Georgie. Ryan Stahl will drive the 4, Little PD. Parabellum, Kaylee May, Shenzi Oz, Forceful Power, and Sabina. Come right on, we need 7.
2-year-old filly trotters, 3rd division for $17,500. Coming up from the Champaign County Fairgrounds in Urbana, Ohio. Back with more in a moment.
Cool Winds Farm in Lima, Ohio is a full-service standardbred breeding facility that specializes in stallion management. Cool Winds Farm stands Rockin' Amadeus, sire of world champion Ocean Rock. Cool Winds also stands trotters Coraggioso, sire of stakes winner Lima Gold, and double millionaire sire Lucky Chucky. Be sure to visit the Cool Winds yearlings at the Ohio Selected Jug Sale at Pickaway Ag Center on Friday, September 18th.
Athletes, they come in all shapes and sizes. They catch, they leap, they run. Some athletes even come with 4 legs and paws and hooves. When these beloved family members need care, remember the Ohio State Veterinary Medical Center. Ohio State experts wrote the book on exceptional animal care and know how to get our best friends back on their feet. The Ohio State Veterinary Medical Center.
Champaign County could bill itself as the Champaign of Ohio fairs, only in the county's case, Champaign is French for open level country, which is what greeted fur trappers and traders when they arrived in the 1700s. They established trading posts with the Shawnee throughout the region until the end of the 7 Years' War in 1763. When the Northwest Ordinances were enacted in 1787, the land would be settled by veterans of the American Revolution in the 1790s, and by 1805 it had been mapped and plated by Colonel William Ward of Virginia. Ward and his surveyor, Joseph Vance, a future Ohio governor, decided to call the 199 acres that would be the county seat Urbana. It's a synonym for refinement and politeness, but was home to many rugged frontiersmen such as Simon Kenton, a contemporary of Daniel Boone. During the War of 1812, it was the headquarters of that Northwestern Army commanded by the governor of Michigan Territory, William Hull of Connecticut. As the area was tamed, Urbana and Champaign County grew quickly and hosted a few small fairs as early as 1841. By 1859, there is harness racing, and the present fairgrounds was constructed in 1889 with a lightning-fast half-mile oval. 1891 saw the last of the high-wheeled sulkies at the racetrack, as in 1892 the first appearance of the new bicycle sulky was noted. The lighter skeleton frame was equipped with pneumatic or air-filled tires, and the weight of the bike dropped from over 100 pounds to a less hindering 30 pounds. That improved the horse's time by at least 4 seconds. And the trotters and paces records have been going faster and faster since at the Champaign County Fair in Urbana.
Need to tune in more often, or at least recommend all of you to tune in. I learn something every time I'm listening to Tom Pye give some background. It's pretty educational, you might say. So Tom says he makes it up. I don't believe that, because his phone would be lighting up, because every time we make a mistake, somebody corrects us pretty quickly. Looking at this next race, a unique field of trotters here. This is different than what we've had all night. Not one horse has won a race in this field. And we were talking earlier, we had a field of horses where they had all won at least once. This particular field, a 2-year-old filly trotters, none of them have won. And this is a pretty evenly dispersed group of filly trotters, and I would say about anything could happen. What's your thoughts, Roger?
Well, I know there's 4 divisions of the 2-year-old filly trot. There are only 2 previous Buckeye Stallion Series winners in the card tonight, so a lot of horses looking for their first win. I'm picking the 2, Forceful Power. Sandy Beatty drives this one. Nothing but qualifiers, but in the last qualifier did stay flat. A winner in 2 minutes and 2/5 at Scioto Downs. Last quarter 30 and 2/5. And as you said, nobody has a win here, so somebody's going to get a maiden victory, and not only a maiden victory, but $8,750.
When I looked at it, I was kind of intrigued by the 5 horse, a Deep Chip filly, which you don't see or hear much about Deep Chip. But for those that don't remember, Deep Chip was owned by Kathy Ratliff, I believe, and was trained very successfully by Bill Daly.
$15,500, field of 7. Number 1, Sabina, the driver's Ray Paver. Number 2, Forceful Power, the driver's Sandy Beatty. Dan Noble driving at 3, Miss Georgie. Number 4, Little Petey with Ryan Stahl. 5, Parabellum, Chris Page drives. Number 6 is Kaylee May with Josh Sutton. And number 7, Shenzi Oz, Tyler Smith in the sulky. Going to the gate in 3 minutes.
Dan Noble on the 3, Ryan Stahl on the 4. You were speaking about Parabellum. Trainer Scott Betts, one of the top trainers over at the Meadows in Pennsylvania. Look at that training percentage, 314 on the year.
Wow. You can't come to Champaign County, the Urbana track here, and not think about Bill Daly. And when I think of Deep Chip and several of his good offsprings, Bill Daly started or trained. And Deep Chip was a unique horse, if I remember right, and somebody will correct me, but he won most all of his races at 2, and I think was hurt and did not race at 3 or had very limited starts, and I think he might have came back at 4, but he was extremely impressive at 2. And Bill Daly spent a lot of time, along with Kim, I'm sure, working with him, but he was very fast, a little bit temperamental. The Ratcliffes owned the horse, and kind of a sentimental pick here for me, just thinking about Bill Daly and the limited crop that Deep Chip has had here recently. I think he was standing at Hickory Lane Farm when this mare was bred.
I do like Little Petey in here. Ryan Stahl, Steve Schofield, trainee, already coming off a qualifier at the Meadows, 2-1 and 3. He's 1/3 in 2 starts. He is ready to waltz into the winner's circle, I think. The Uncle Peter 2-year-old filly.
We've got 3 Uncle Peters, 2 Triumphant Caviars. Got a Lion Hunter and a Deep Chip.
Pretty diverse field. Ray Paver, that horse shows a little bit of gate speed in a qualifier. He's got the inside. Ray was always, I thought, pretty steady-handed with trotters. It's a wide open field. It's unfortunate we don't have wagering here, because this would be kind of fun to wager if you enjoy betting on 2-year-old filly trotters.
I love it. So if you want to go broker, bet the breaker.
I have a dart board if you want it.
Kind of an intriguing Uncle Peter, the 3-horse. Miss Georgie has been in tough competition. The State Fair and the Ohio Sire Stakes, two legs of that. Hasn't gotten a check yet, but certainly they felt this filly was of that caliber to put her in those. Trained by Miles Woolham, driven today by Dan Noble.
Little Petey does show a couple wins in qualifiers.
You know that, Steve, I think that Miss Georgie She looks pretty good out there. She might be the dark horse in the race. She might be worth $2 to win at probably 50 or 60 to 1.
If you're going to bet 2 to win, I'll book it. Field of 7.
They're at the gate. Gates rolling.
1 through 6 on the gate. 7 a trailer. Second tier for the call. Doug Ballinger.
Here they come. I wanted to see how late it was. They're up and pacing. That's Miss Georgie going for the lead. Parabellum on the outside is second. Kaylee May got 3 wide into the turn. Little Petey comes out in 4th. Forceful Power 5th. Sabina racing 6th and trailing the field. Shenzi Oz at the opening 8th. Settling straight alignment up the backside. Going to the opening quarter and showing the way. Parabellum and Chris Page lead it by a length. Miss Georgie and Dan Noble set the pocket in second. Kaylee May, Josh Sutton third. Little Petey and Ryan Stahl race 4th. 5th Forceful Power and Sandy Beatty as they race around the turn by the quarter. 30 and 4/5. Racing 6. That's Shenzi Oz and Tyler Smith and trailing up field. Sabina and Ray Paver. Field in straight alignment. Passing the stands first time. Coming to the halfway point. Out and on the move. Here comes Kaylee May and John Sutton in tow second as they come on over to the half. And Little Petey, the leader at the half. Parabellum making a miscue. Kaylee May on the outside. Little Petey to the inside. That's Miss Georgie at the half in 102. On the 5/8 they go. Racing up on the outside. They race down the backside. Kaylee May. Down the backside of the 3/4 they go. Off stride, Miss Georgie with the lead. Midpoint of the backside, Parabellum. Here comes Ryan Stahl and Little Petey on the outside. Racing on the outside, Forceful Power. Set to move 3 wide at the 3/4, 132 and 4. Around the far turn, Parabellum coming after the leader. Little Petey, the inside. Parabellum down the stretch they come. It's Little Petey. Forceful Power on the outside. Sabina on the outside. They're inside the final 16th. Forceful Power on the outside. It is Forceful Power. Second may have been Little Petey over Sabina. Photo for place. The mile 2:03.
Forceful Power and Sandy Beatty. Got him straightened out, or straightened her out, after 2 straight breaks in qualifiers at Scioto. Winner last time out, 2 minutes and 2/5, and a winner tonight.
Very patiently driven. I will say this, she was given an opportunity to run. When Sandy tipped her at the head of the stretch the first time around, he kind of had to take a hold because Kaylee May, the 6, pulled in front. He has tucked her in behind the 6, and right at the start-finish line, the 6 made a break, and she kept right on trotting, and very patiently, he waited. Ryan Stahl ended up passing Parabellum with Chris Page, and Sandy just kind of measured that filly from there. He's got to be pretty pleased with that effort.
Unofficial, it was 2-4-1.
Triumphant Caviar. Lifetime mark? Nope. Qualifying record, 2 minutes and 2/5. It's out, and I don't think they went that fast, but it's going to be a race mark for Forceful Power.
The 10th race. Marrakesh Express, Speak Well, Pine Grove Racer, Brighter Days, Pinot.
On the screen here, we have a very unofficial freeze frame from my camera of place. I am just a couple inches off the wire, I believe, and with it being this close, that is enough to make a difference. So don't take my word for it here, but this is what my camera sees.
Who finished second?
The 1.
You think so?
I believe so.
I think it was the 4. At least I wrote it in 4 in my program.
The 2-year-old Bay filly by Triumphant Caviar out of the Agnes Hall mare. Rose Power is almost Steve Sexton Xenia. You Beatty trained. Sandy Beatty drives the winner of the mile, 2:03. Lifetime mark for Forceful Power as they take the 3rd division of the 2-year-old filly trot.
Forceful Power, little, then a photo for place. Photo for place. Want to emphasize that our camera, of course, is not the photo finish.
Official. Number 1, Sabina, 3. Forceful Power, the winner. Miss Georgie, 7. Little Petey, 2. Parabellum, 6. Kaylee May, 4. Shenzi Oz, 5. The mile, 2:03. 30 and 4/5, 102, 132 and 4, 317, 264, 5 on the bottom. Chance race in 8 minutes. The 2, Speak Well. Make the driver Brendan Johnson. Brendan Johnson, the 2, Speak Well. Number 3, Pine Grove Racer. Make the driver Ryan Stahl. Ryan Stahl will drive the 3, Pine Grove Racer. Jeff Neisanger drives the 4, Brighter Days. Jeff Neisanger driving the 4, Brighter Days. Number 5, Pinot Blanc. The driver will be Tyler Smith. Tyler Smith, the 5, Pinot Blanc. And number 7, What You Talking About? Make the driver Dan Noble. Dan Noble on the 7. We need 7 horses for the 10th. Come right on.
2-year-old Colt Pacers, 4th division, coming up. 126 on the gate, 7 a trailer, 2nd tier. More action from the Champaign County Fairgrounds after these messages.
Dreams of becoming a champion start early. Since 1933, young colts and fillies have started down the road to becoming a champion on the tracks of the Ohio Colt Racing Association, the same tracks that their ancestors began their careers on. Founded to improve and protect standardbred horse racing at Ohio's county fairs, the OCRA races at 20 tracks in western and southern Ohio. The Ohio Colt Racing Association, where champions are born. When you need supplies for your horse, one name stands out: Big D's. Since 1974, Big D's Tack and Vet Supply has been the equine experts you can trust. Whatever your horse needs is available at Big D's Tack and Vet Supply. Visit the retail outlet in Streetsboro, Ohio, or order online at bigdweb.com. Most orders shipped that day, or call 1-800-321-2142. Big D's Tack and Vet Supply.
Time for text trivia. You're right. This is the last one of the night. And it is, remember the number, 614-633-5554. Again, imprint it in your brain, put it on your phone, 614-633-5554. No correct texts are eligible. So now Urbana has had, we've had 30 horses, over 30 horses with the name Urbana in their name. The first was Urbana Boy. He was a gelding by Bob Commander, who took a mark here with Urbana at 2:07 on the trot. That's a good mile back then. What year was he a foal of? Was he a foal of A, 1920, B, 1928, or C, 1934?
Now, how's anybody going to know the answer to that?
Take a guess.
207?
Back in
1934.
Mr. Bateson, do you have a guess?
C, 1934.
Well, they concur with each other. Okay, I'm not going to do this. Susan, I'm not going to ask you. All right, we'll take the second and the fifth correct call texter.
Now, that doesn't mean 34 is the correct answer.
No, absolutely not. Just because
like
what they said.
Just like the one horse wasn't second in the last race. After further review.
So, okay. So, what year was Urbana Boy, the first horse with the name Urbana to his name? Was it A, 1920, B, 1928, or C, 1934? The second and the fifth correct text to 614.
I want you to stand right there.
Right.
Steve, would you look at the hair on Tom Pye?
Yes.
Would you like to buy some of my hair gel
Now
let
me tell you what.
To spray?
Never insult the hairdresser when she's when she's cutting your hair.
Tom Pye is officially the Don King of the Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association. He's never a loss for words, and his hairdresser leaves a little to be desired.
I'm just shocked all the time.
Looks like he stuck his finger in an electrical socket.
It was. I mean, this microphone of mine. It keeps starting out. All right, we're going to looking for that. See, now they love to guess.
Well, you had to guess on this one.
Absolutely. Well, unless you could look them up. And I got my winners.
Okay, what was the correct year then?
Damned if I know, or darned if I know.
Good night, Matilda. We had to come up with a text trivia like, what's the famous potato chip made in Urbana, Ohio?
Okay, so we know that. Would Randy Leopard be able to get that?
No, I saw a bag of them over in the judges' stand. Seriously.
Mumford's potato chip.
$17,500.
Okay, the correct answer. He was a fool.
Number 1, Marrakesh Express with Chris Page. Brendan Johnson drives it 2, Speak Well. Number 3, Pine Grove Racer, Ryan Stahl. Number 4, Brighter Days with Jeff Nysonger. Number 5 is Pinot Blanc to driver Tyler Smith. 6, I'm Rocking It, Josh Sutton drives. And number 7, What You Talking About? Dan Noble in the sulky. Post time for the 10th in 3 minutes.
Now we've been in suspense. Tom Pye.
The Urbana boy was a foal of B. 1928. And there have been over 30 Urbana somebody or whatever since then. So congratulations to our winners. I am letting you know right now who you are. Because they were describing my hairdo. Remember, never insult your barber or your stylist when they're cutting your hair. Especially don't say, are you doing that right?
Especially if you want to shave.
They do. Okay.
The winners are.
No, it'll be a minute or so.
Okay.
You folks can...
10th race coming up. 2-year-old Colt Pacers. Speak Well's got 1 of 5, 56-2 qualifier at Scioto. 2 of 4, Brighter Days. Got a win and a second in the Buckeye Stallion Series, 155 Northfield. 2 of 5 on Pinot Blanc. Qualifying win, 58-1. The others are maidens.
Yeah, pretty balanced field, quite honestly. I mean, Brighter Days, appears to have done well in the Buckeye Stallion Series, a first and a second. But, last start at Wapakoneta made a pretty bad break. And
have that 11th race ready, have the 11th ready.
And finished third. So, at first glance, I kind of like horses that are on their home track. And this 2 horses trained right here in Urbana. Brendan Johnson is going to drive the horse. I guarantee you he sits behind it a lot. Brendan doesn't drive a tremendous amount, but he's very capable hands. And he's from, I believe, New Zealand. But he works for Chad Folk, Clarence Folk, that's training this horse. I like Speak Well.
I'm going to go with the 3, Pine Grove Racer. I'm going for an upset with Ryan Stahl. Brendan Johnson has won more races at the Champaign County Fairgrounds this year than any other driver. Because at the matinee, I think he won 10 out of 14.
Wow. How many of those were Chad
They're at the
Folks?
gate.
About 3 or 4.
For the 10th, 4th Division, 2-year-old Colt Pacers. Buckeye Stallion Series, $17,500 on the line. Mike Wemkenberg has them all lined up and ready for a start, and here they come.
Speaking of Brendan Johnson, he was the second trainer for Brett Pelling when he came to the States.
They're up fourth, and pacing Pine Grove Racer along with Pinot Blanc out for the lead. Mariah Cash on the inside, racing third. Fourth on the outside, Brighter Days into the turn. What you talking about? Well placed fifth from the second tier. Speak Well comes out in sixth, and I'm Rocking It. The Early Trader seventh. Down the backside, going to the opening quarter, and out and on the move on the outside. Pine Grove Racer, Ryan Stahl, want the front end. Pinot Blanc racing second. Merritt Cash racing at third as they race by the quarter in 29 and 2/5. Going over to the 3/8 mark, racing on the inside. As they race around the turn, going on over to the 3/8 mark. That's I'm Rocking It. Passing the stands, first time coming to the half. Pine Grove Racer, Ryan Stahl, front the field. Out and on the move on the outside. Merritt Cash Express, Chris Page, first up. Pinot Blanc racing third. Fourth is Speak Well. Fifth, Brighter Days. Sixth to the outside. I'm Rocking It. Trailing the field. What you talking about? At the half, 1 minute and 1/5. They're at the 5/8, headed to the 3/4 mark. Pine Grove Racer, Ryan Stahl show the way by 3/4 of an inch. Merritt Cash Express on the leader's wheel second. Pinot Blanc third. Speak Well fourth. On the outside, I'm Rocking It. What you talking about? From front to back. 6 leaks separate them. They're into the far turn. They're by 3/4, 1:30 and a fifth. Around the far turn, the battle's on. Pine Grove Racer, Merritt Cash Express, stride for stride. Pinot Blanc set to come 3 wide, will be on the grandstand side. 3 of them across the track. Merritt Cash Express, Pine Grove Racer, Merritt Cash Express coming to the line. Merritt Cash Express. On the inside, though, Pine Grove Racer, Merritt Cash Express, and Pinot Blanc. 1:58 4/5.
Mark another one up for Pine Grove Racer. Ty Loy, Ryan Stahl, the win. First win in 5 this season.
Ty Loy, originally from the Attica, Ohio area, now living in Columbia Station. Hall of Famer, actually, at Northfield Park. Northfield Park, he's on the Hall of Fame there. Very competent trainer and was a very competent driver when Ty used to drive on a more regular basis. But one of the tougher horsemen you'll ever find in northern Ohio.
Pine Grove Racer by Racing Hill.
Very capably driven by Ryan Stahl from Republic, Ohio, just a little bit west of Attica.
And we will be at Attica tomorrow.
This week?
Yes, tomorrow and Thursday.
Wednesday and Thursday, yes.
Wednesday.
What was it, 1 o'clock? 1 o'clock.
Doing all the races.
Yep.
The crew will be up
well,
there.
You can talk about Ty Loy winning the Buckeye Stallion Series.
We'll have to see if he stops in. Ryan Stahl stopped by last year, and he won about 7 races.
That's why they call it Win 'em all Stall.
That was incidentally
Win 'em all stall after you clean the stalls.
Yeah.
Well, Ryan's cleaned plenty of stalls, I can assure you. Working for his dad, Lee.
Ryan doesn't get away from Northfield very often, but when he does, he had a good night at Bucyrus. He's having a good night here tonight.
Back in front of the stands, winner of the 10th, the 4th division, Geo Colden Gilding Pace, Buckeye Stallion Series. Sponsored by the Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association. Number 3, Pine Grove Racer. The 2-year-old Bay Golden son of Racing Hill out of the Western Hanover mare, Western Royalty. Is owned by Ty Loy of Ohio, Richard Gillick of Pennsylvania. Ty Loy trains the winner. Ryan Stahl gets his 3rd winning drive of the evening. The mile, 1:58 4/5. Merritt Cash Express finished 2nd. Speak Well was 5th. Pine Grove Racer the winner. Brighter Days 4. Pinot Blanc 3. I'm Rocking It 6. What you talking about 7. 1:58 4/5. 29 and 2. 1 minute 1/5. 1:30 and 1/5. Top down 251 436. 7 on the bottom. 11th race coming up in 8 minutes. The 4th division of the 2-year-old filly pace. Number 2, Topless on the Beach, will be driven by Josh Sutton. Josh Sutton to drive the 2, Topless on the Beach. Number 6, Saddle Up and Cruise. Make the driver Chris Page. Chris Page the 6, Saddle Up and Cruise. Papa Tusive Love, Pop's House. Saddle Up and Cruise, Momo, Topless on the Beach, and Miss Park Lane Power, come right on.
And before we go into the break, just want to congratulate Doris Earl of Eastlake, Ohio, and way down in Mulberry, Florida, H.O. Strong Jr. Good day, mate. And we're coming up the 10th at Urbana at the Champaign County Fairgrounds. We'll be back shortly.
Cool Winds Farm in Lima, Ohio wants to thank all of the breeders that supported our first season, standing the popular sire, Dancin' Yankee. Cool Winds also stands the fast son of Some Beach Somewhere, Santa Fe Beach Boy, and 2015 Little Brown Jug runner-up Lost for Words, who engaged in an epic battle with Wiggle It Jiggle It, and whose first crop will sell this fall. Be sure to visit Randy and Kim Haynes in the Cool Winds Farm consignment at the Ohio Selected Jug Sale at Pickaway Ag Center on Friday, September 18th.
Be sure to catch the new podcast, The Top of the Stretch, presented by the Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association. The podcast keeps fans of racing in the Buckeye State up to date on various topics concerning the sport of harness racing. The news and views of top officials, owners, trainers, drivers, and breeders in Ohio. That's the all-new podcast, Top of the Stretch, on the Facebook page of the Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association. Be there! When an individual goes to the racetrack, that racing program can be quite intimidating. We're going to help you better understand the statistics that appear in our racing program. We'll start off with the first information. Yellow, that is the color of the saddle pad that the horse will be racing with. Number 6 is the horse's head number and post position in this particular event. 7 to 5, that's the morning line odds in this particular race. Next we have the driver, Kurt Sugg, 50 years of age. His racing colors are green, gray, and white. This year, 7 drives, 1 win, no seconds, and 2/3. Now a driver gets 9 points for a win, 5 points for a second place finish, and 3 points for a third. You divide that number by the total number of drives times 9, and that will give you very similar to a baseball batting average. In this case, 238. The horse's name is Big Bad Whammo, and in the last 4 starts, earnings of $16,870. Next is the trainer, Corey DeErman. He has this year 3 starts, 2 wins, a second, no thirds, with a universal trainer rating system percentage of 852. Big Bad Whammo is a brown colt, 3 years of age. The father is Big Bad John. The mother, another wild woman. And the father of the mother, Village Jolt. The owners are Corey DeErman of Dorset, Ohio, and Robert Mundillo of Delaware, Ohio. Next comes the statistics on the horse. In 2020, 2 starts, 2 wins, no seconds, no thirds, has earned $7,050. Fastest win time, 1:54.1 at Northfield on a track rated fast. In 2019, 13 starts, 5 wins, 3 seconds and a third, earnings of $57,280. Now the fastest mile was in a qualifying race of 1:56.4, and that was at Northfield and also a fast track. Lifetime, 15 starts, 7 wins, 3 seconds and 1/3. Earnings of $64,330. Has a race record as a 3-year-old, fastest win time 1:54.1. That was at Northfield on a track rated fast. With that information, makes it a little easier for you to understand our racing program. 3 of the 6 have won races this year. This is the 4th division of the 2-year-old filly pace. The winners, Topless on the Beach, 2 of 4. 3 of 6 for Pompatus of Love, and 2 of 4 for Saddle Up and Cruise. I'm going to go with the 2, Topless on the Beach. Fastest win, 157 at Scioto Downs. Comes into this one, back-to-back wins at Mount Vernon and Scioto Downs.
Yeah, Josh Sutton driving Topless on the Beach, trained by Jeff Ebersol. I think he trains at Mount Vernon. This horse is owned by Linda Ebersol. Nice looking filly that you don't see very many of these beach trees. Shows some good speed both at the fairs and on the big track. Last start win at Scioto Downs.
Raced 2 legs in the Buckeye Stallion Series, finishing 2nd and 4th, looking for the first win in the Stallion Series.
I'm going to throw kind of a long shot here. Momo, Anthony McDonald, Jason McGinnis. This horse raced pretty well at Paynesville. Got away second, finished second, but then didn't like Bowling Green's track very well. Made a break out of the 1 hole, but showed some decent speed in qualifiers. I think horse gets around here, should be able to get a check. But if you're looking for a hometown favorite, you got to like the Kim Daly owned horse, Kim Daly trained, Pompous of Love, the 5 horse with Dan Noble. 3 of 6.
Dan Noble's had a rough way to go tonight.
I like Topless on the Beach in here too, and Pompatus of Love. But
you know, that doesn't surprise me that you like Topless on the Beach.
Buckeye Stallion Series. $17,500. Number 1, the Park Lane Power. The driver's Tyler Smith. Josh Sutton drives the 2, Topless on the Beach. Number 3, Momo with Anthony McDonald. Ryan Stahl, the 4, Pop's House. Number 5, Pompatus of Love, the driver Ray Paver.
Momo can't hit
Number
the gate.
6, Saddle Up and Cruise, Chris Page in the sulky.
Momo.
Go to the gate in 3 minutes.
Anthony McDonald having a rough way to go with Momo in the post parade. Couldn't
Number 5,
hit
Pompatus of Love will be driven by Dan Noble. Dan Noble will drive the 5, Pompatus of Love, as programmed.
Chris Page on the 6, Saddle Up and Cruise. Josh Sutton, Topless on the Beach.
Yeah, it looked like Momo was saying no.
Yeah.
Maybe having bad memories of Bowling Green, but looks like on the backside has improved its gait a little bit. Might be such a thing, honestly, that it is pretty bright right here at the start-finish line, and that kind of where it started acting up. You wouldn't think the bright lights, but some horses are a little camera shy.
Absolutely.
I can remember a horse. I'm trying to remember if it was what track it was, but it was undefeated, and they had a big scoreboard-like thing, that teleprompter, and that thing would light up as that horse was up by 5 lengths, and when it came by that big teleprompter, kind of halfway down the stretch, it made a break and just about jumped the fence.
You know, it's amazing what horses can see out there. I think we were at Washington Courthouse. They raced Tuesday and Saturday, and the placement of the tote board was at a different location for both programs.
Oh boy.
And nobody had any problem on Tuesday because it was a little further back off the racetrack, but somehow it got placed right close to the racetrack. And I'll tell you, the horses, not so much in the race, but watching them warm up and such, they were shying away from that tote board like you wouldn't believe.
Well, Thomas and I talked about that earlier. And, young horses, it's old school. A lot of guys would go 2 trips, or if they go 1 trip, they're jogging around both ways, both wrong ways and right ways, and really try to expose that horse to everything. So, in the race, it won't make that mistake.
And for horses that haven't raced at South or Northfield, this is almost a new experience racing under the lights.
Absolutely, right.
They're at the gate. Gates rolling. It's post time for the 11th here at the Champaign County Fair.
4th Division, 2-year-old filly pacers, 6 of them in behind the Mike Wilkenberg starting
this
gate.
evening on the Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association Facebook. Pacers are rolling behind the gate. The gate swings into the stretch, and here they come. They're up and pacing, Topless on the beach, out for the lead. On the outside, Papa Deuce of Love and Dan Noble want the front end, and they're gonna get it. Miss Park Lane Power comes out in 3rd, racing 4th. They race around the turn. Momo racing 5th. Saddle Up and Cruise and drilling the field. Pop's House up the backside, going to the opening quarter. Papa Deuce of Love shows the way and leads it by 2 lengths. Topless on the beach is 2nd. Park Lane Power racing 3rd. Next in 4th is Momo racing 5th. Into the turn. Going on over to the 3/8 mark. Saddle Up and Cruise. 29 seconds for the opening quarter, trailing the field. That's Pop's House. Into the lane first time, coming to the half. Papa Deuce of Love shows the way, racing 2nd as they come to the half. Topless on the beach. Passing the stands first time, coming to the halfway point. Out and on the move on the outside. Miss Park Lane Power racing 4th. Momo to the outside. Saddle Up and Cruise is 5th. The trailer, Pop's House at the half, 59-4. On to the 5/8 they go. Papa Deuce of Love will guide the field to the 3/4 with a 2-length lead. But right there, Topless on the beach. We'll need some racing rooms ready to come to the outside. Racing on the outside. Miss Park Lane Power is 3rd. 3 wide on the outside. Here comes Anthony McDonald and Momo at the 3/4, 129-3. Around the final turn, opening up, Papa Deuce of Love by 3, 4, 5 lengths. Topless on the beach is 2nd. Joining the chase, Saddle Up and Cruise. Coming to the line with less than an 1/8 of a mile to come. It's all Dan Noble and Papa Deuce of Love. Noble's 2nd winner on the card. Saddle Up and Cruise home 2nd. Topless on the beach will finish 3rd. 1:58 4/5.
And if you look into the past performance of Papa Deuce of Love, the 2nd drive this season for Dan Noble, and he won both occasions.
Yes, I see that. Again, that horse makes its living right here, does its work day in, day out in the Kim Daly barn. Got to be a little bit of a home track advantage. This horse didn't have to ship anywhere, just woke up this morning and got prepared to race.
Hometown advantage, absolutely. The looks like a 5.62. And
you are correct, sir.
Thank you, sir. 158-4 last quarter in 29-1.
Yeah, got a little bit of a breather the 2nd quarter, and again, to me the fractions set the stage here, and you're not going to gain a lot of ground going 3 wide at a county fair. And even though it looked impressive, Momo made a nice move, but 3 wide is not the easiest thing to do. And I hear some cheering for this 5 horse as some masked people are down at the fence.
We can't
Moving
recognize
into
them.
the winners
Don't know who they are.
of the 11th.
They got the mask on.
4th Division 2-year-old filly pace. Buckeye Stallion Series, sponsored by the Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association. Here's the 5, Papa Deuce of Love. The 2-year-old bay filly by Mr. Wiggles out of the well-said mare. Big Time Blair. 4 for 7 this year for Papa Deuce of Love. Kim Daly, Mechanicsburg, Ohio, owns and trains. Dan Noble gets his 2nd winning drive of the evening. The mile, 1:58 4/5. 11th is official. Miss Park Lane Power, 5. Topless on the beach, 3. Momo, 4. Pop's House, 6. Papatus of Love, the winner. Saddle Up and Cruise 2, 158 4/5. 29 seconds, 59 and 4, 129 and 3. Chop down 5, 3, 4, 6, 1, 2 on the bottom. 12th race in 8 minutes. Number 1, Diva DeVille. Make the driver Tyler Smith. Tyler Smith will drive the 1, Diva DeVille. Number 3, Doc's Dilemma. Make the driver Ray Paver. Ray Paver driving the 3, Doc's Dilemma. Telling the story, forget the past. Whole lot of trot, Doc's Dilemma, Aunt Lil, Diva DeVille. We need 6 for the 12th. Come right on.
It was interesting to see in that winner's circle, as many times as she's been a winner, Kim Daly was overjoyed in the winner's circle with driver Dan Noble and Papatus of Love. Back with the 12th, 2-year-old filly trotters after these messages.
When you need supplies for your horse, one name stands out, Big D's. Since 1974, Big D's Tack and Vet Supply has been the equine experts you can trust. Whatever your horse needs is available at Big D's Tack and Vet Supply. Visit the retail outlet in Streetsboro, Ohio, or order online at bigdweb.com. Most orders shipped that day, or call 1-800-321-2142. Big D's Tack and Vet Supply.
Your animals provide unconditional love. When they hurt, you want the best care available to help them enjoy life again. The Ohio State Veterinary Medical Center is here for you and for them. From heart disease to cancer, diabetes to broken bones, and 24-hour emergency services, Ohio State's team of experts make a difference in the lives of animals and the family members who love them. The Ohio State Veterinary Medical Center.
After Lady Suffolk, the old gray mare, trotted a mile in 2:29.5 in 1845, the next standard everyone aimed for was besting the 2-minute and 20-second barrier. Horse breeders will look for the Golden Cross as they went for the record. An Arabian thoroughbred sired, Henry Clay, foaled on Long Island in 1837, would be one line that produced trotters. Unfortunately, they became known as quitters, horses that spit the bit and gave up at the end of the mile. The Stallion Figure, foaled in 1793 in Springfield, Massachusetts, put his distinct stamp on his get and will be called after his owner, Justin Morgan. And for over 50 years, the Morgans ruled the trotting world. The record would be lowered by a mare by the name of Flora Temple. While the nondescript mare carried a lot of Morgan and Arabian lineage in her pedigree, she too was known as a trotting thoroughbred. She started out as a workhorse and had a tail bobbed or cut short to make it easy to clean, but she could trot a bit. Under the care and guidance of Hiram Woodruff, the Prince of Trotters, Flora Temple would win 95 of her 112 events and stop the watch at Kalamazoo, Michigan in 1859 at the age of 14, hooked to a wagon in 2:19 3/4. Throughout her career, Flora Temple was referred to as the bobtail nag, doo-dah, doo-dah. She retired in 1861, and by then the trotting records were being rewritten by a messenger line sire foaled in 1849 in Orange County, New York. Trotting thoroughbreds were called the Clays, the Morgans, and now the Hambletonians. And a new breed had been born.
Back here at the Champaign County Fairgrounds. Viewer asked my best memory from Woodsfield, Ohio. I was there, I think, 2 straight years. Eddie Knowlton was the speed superintendent and good friend of mine. Really, I can't remember too much about the races. They only had like 4 or 5 races a day, but I think they're still racing in Woodsfield.
Well, did you get paid?
Eventually.
Well, there you go. That's a good memory.
I know.
That is a pretty part of the state.
Yeah. Well, it's great because if you go the road, you can go right along the Ohio River almost all the way from Wheeling, West Virginia to Woodsfield.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, there you
Beautiful
go.
trip.
That's pretty part of the state.
And I still get, I think the Ohio River is one of the most beautiful rivers there is, really.
Absolutely. You can always get on a keel boat when you're down the Ohio River.
Tyler Smith to drive the 1. Ray Paver will drive the 3. Field of 6. Here's a look at the field. Number 1, Diva DeVille. The driver, Tyler Smith. Number 2 is Zan Lill, driven by Chris Page. 3, Doc's Dilemma for Ray Paver. Darren Harvey with the 4, Whole Lotta Trot. Number 5, Forget the Past, Dwayne Miner. Dan Noble telling the story. Number 6. Post time in 3 minutes.
Nice field.
2-year-old filly trotters. I'm going to go with the 1, Diva DeVille, Tyler Smith for Miles O'Rourke. Made a break, but it was an interference break the last time out, so you can forget that one. Was second, 3 back in 2 minutes and 4/5 in a qualifier at the Meadows. Then raced, and this is one of the reasons I picked the horse. Raced in the Ohio Sire Stake, going for $40,000. Down in class here, finished 5th in that Sire Stake, 59-2. So that's the reason. Down in class, Diva DeVille.
Forget the past.
They can't go from one to the other. They have to stay out of action for what, 1 or 2 weeks?
No, you mean the Sire Stakes and Stallion Series?
Yeah.
No. So how that works, if you race in leg 1 of the Sire Stakes, you cannot race in leg 1 of the Stallion Series. But you can go from leg 1 of the Sire Stakes and go to leg 2 of the Stallion Series.
So there's no delay or anything?
No.
Next leg?
You just cannot race in the same leg. Correct. Okay. And what we're trying to do, from a scheduling standpoint, ideally we'd have the dates close to the same. But there are some points in the schedule where there's 5, 6, 7 days apart, and we didn't want a guy to double dip, where he basically won leg 2 of both stake events. So that's kind of how that's set up, Roger.
We've got 3 winners in this short field of 6. 4, 5, and 6. 2 of 5 this year for a Whole Lotta Trot. This will be the second start after third placed 4th at Northfield. Forget the Past is 3 of 4 on the year. First appearance in the Buckeye Stallion Series. 3 wins in the last 4 starts.
Dwayne Miner driving.
Dependable Dwayne Miner. Hamiltonian winner with Wishing Stone.
Right, that's my pick in this race. It shows it can handle a county fair
Partner,
track.
have that 13th ready. Have the 13th ready.
All 3 wins coming at the county fair.
Telling the story.
4th division, 2-year-old
1
filly
of 4.
trotters. Field is 6.
One at
17,500 on
Sydney.
the line. Sponsored by the Ohio Harness
Also raced in
Horsemen's
the
Association.
Sire Stake.
Buckeye Stallion Series.
Yep.
Here they come.
Field of 6. 2-year-old filly trotters.
They were up and trotting, Forget the Past, going for the lead. Telling the story on the outside, racing second, racing third. Whole Lotta Trot as they race into the turn. Racing 4th, David DeVille on the inside. That's Doc's Dilemma, and trailing the field by the opening 8th, and on to the backside is Aunt Lil. Down the backside they trot. Forget the Past leads the way by 5 lengths. Racing second up the backside, Whole Lotta Trot. Next and third, Diva DeVille. Racing 4th, Doc's Dilemma as they race by the opening quarter. By the quarter in 30 4/5. Round the turn to the 3/8 they trot. Forget the Past, Dwayne Miner show the way by 3.5 lengths. Whole Lotta Trot right there second. Diva DeVille racing third. 4th is Doc's Dilemma by the 3/8 mark. Into the lane first time. Coming on over to the halfway point and trailing the field. That's Aunt Lil. They're at the halfway home with the lead. Forget the Past. Whole Lotta Trot is second. Telling the story on the outside third. Diva DeVille racing 4th. Out and on the move on the outside. Here comes Doc's Dilemma. Halfway home, 103, 3/5, and trailing the field is a race to the backside. Aunt Lil going to the 3/4 mark. They're coming after the leader. Forget the Pass. Telling the story, and Dan Noble on the outside. Now second. Whole lot of trot to the outside. Third. Racing fourth. Diva DeVille. Doc's Dilemma is fifth. Trailing Aunt Lil. 3/4, 133 and 2. Around the final turn. They're going to be 3 wide. Turning for home in the 2-year-old filly trot. Forget the Pass, trying to take them all the way on the outside. Telling the story is second. Forget the Pass, telling the story. Whole lot of trot on the outside. Whole lot of trot. Closing quickly on the outside. But it's Forget the Past and Dwayne Miner. Very tight on the line. Multiple horse photo for win.
Might have been the best race of the day.
204, 2/5.
No doubt about the winner, Forget the Past. Dwayne Miner for Brian Georges from Wilmington, Ohio. 2-year-old filly by Don't You Forget It, out of Annuity Hanover by Credit Winner. 4 of 5 on the year.
I think Dwayne's job there was very well done. Nice breather. Second quarter, got the half in a minute and 3 seconds and 3/5. So 103 and 3, and came the back half significantly faster. But everybody was chasing him, was on the outside.
It does look like a new lifetime mark for the.
Yeah, a whole lot of trot. I think came flying late to get up for second, but telling the story, Kim Daly trained horse, made a
Dwayne
couple
Miner,
moves.
Forget the Pass to the winner's circle. Dwayne Miner, winner's circle, please.
Forget the Past, back-to-back winner at the Greene County Fair in Xenia on the 5th. The winner here on the 11th, 6 days later. Making the way to the winner's circle.
Brian Georges was our track announcer
at Wilmington.
Wilmington, yeah.
He's also the speed superintendent.
Man of many
And
hats.
he raced 6 horses that
Champaign
day.
County Fair
With
winner's
one
circle.
harness. With one harness.
Yeah.
Your winner of the 12th, 4th Division 2-year-old filly trot, Buckeye Stallion Series, sponsored by the Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association. Number 5, Forget the Past. The 2-year-old brown filly by Don't You Forget It, out of the Credit Winter Mare, Annuity Hanover. Home of Kevin Manley, Beaver Creek. Brian Georges, Wilmington, Ohio. Brian Georges trains the winner. Dwayne Miner in the sulky. The mile, 204, 2/5. A lifetime mark for Forget the Past. Her 4th season's win.
I'll tell you, if I had a trotter racing at the county fairs and I needed a driver, I think I'd take Dwayne Miner.
I'd say he wouldn't be short of experience. What do you think?
I think he's got the perfect hands for a trotter.
4, Aunt Lil 6, Doc's Dilemma 5. Whole lot of trot 2, Forget to Pass the winner. Telling the story 3, the mile 204, 2/5. 30 and 4/5, 103 and 3, 133 and 2. Top down 465, 213 on the bottom. 13th race, heading minutes. The 5th division of the Geo Boat Race. Number 4, Lamar Cruiser. The driver Dan Noble will drive the 4, Lamar Cruiser. Want to see it? I'm here now. Beat the rush. Lamar Cruiser. Rocket and Sandy J come right on.
Field of 7, 1 through 6 on the gate, 7 a trailer, second tier. 2-year-old Colt Pacers, final division, 5th from Urbana, Ohio, after these messages.
With more than 300,000 horses in Ohio, the economic impact of the equine industry in the state is over $2.8 billion. Much of that value comes from standardbred horse owners, breeders, trainers, and drivers who participate in the sport of harness racing. The mission of the Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association is to preserve, protect, promote, and serve the entire standardbred industry in Ohio and beyond. To learn more about the Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association, go to ohha.com. That's ohha.com.
Doctor, give me the news! Is it bad credit?
It's bad credit, and you need a car.
Can I be cured?
Yes, but your case needs immediate attention. Visit lowcostcarsoh.com or lowcostcarsnorth.com today. Bad credit, no credit, don't worry. Start driving today.
I've been cured! I can get a car! Woo!
Even if you're sick with bad credit, get a great car today at either Low Cost Cars locations in Circleville and Columbus.
Lewisburg, Ohio. They're in the northeast part of Champaign County is where North Lewisburg is. I know a little bit about that town. It's where my wife is from. But Illini Duke, that horse was bred at the University of Illinois. They've got a farm similar to what we have here in Ohio, Ohio State at Worcester, ATI. And they had semen sent in from Well Said. This nice Well Said horse has hit the board 6 out of 6, won 4 out of 6, and its last start was at Eaton, winning in 205 and 2. And the previous start was the second leg of the Buckeye Stallion Series, coming in second at Scioto Downs and pacing in 155 and 3. The other horse that I like, Roger, is KB Mack. Ryan Stahl, Dan Vineyard is the trainer from Northern Ohio, Pemberville area. That horse has hit the board 4 out of 4 times, a winner 2 out of 4 starts, and has raced in 2 Stallion Series races and won them both. Scioto Downs in 155 and 1, and one at Northfield Park in 155 and 2.
These 2-year-old colt pacers, 10 of them have won Buckeye Stallion Series events this year. You didn't mention the horse that I think will be tough to beat, even though I like Illini Duke to win it, is this I'm a Bee from the rail, another local horse here at Champaign County.
Yep. Clarence
Folk, Brendan Johnson, 3 of 5 with a second and third, so no worse than third as well.
Yeah, his last start came home in 27-4 at Piketon. Yeah, I did kind of overlook that. He's hit the board 5 of 5 and winning 3 of those. One of those performances, he did go inside the pylon at Northfield Park in a Stallion Series race, coming in third. And then at Scioto Downs, he paced in 53 and 3 and got beat by Open My Eyes, which is no slouch either.
1 through 6 on the gate. 7 will be a trailer in the second tier.
I think we got this is a great field for.
Yeah.
And it's really even Chris Page walking in my shoe. No slouch. He's 1 win, 3 seconds, and 5 starts. So this is gonna. So on the, I believe that Illinois Duke is one of the better ones in the circuit.
Now, they haven't announced who's going to drive Illini Duke and Rockin' in My Shoe. My guess is he'll drive Illini Duke, but he drove the horse 4 back. He's also driven Rockin' in My Shoe 3 of the last 4, so anxious to hear who's going to drive who.
Well, if I had to bet, Tyler Smith will be on the one that he's not. Might be wrong, but I'm just speculating.
Yeah. What is the future for broadcasting races at the count? Well, we'll get that after the post parade.
$17,500, sponsored by the Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association. Tyler Smith to drive the 2. Dan Noble will drive the 4. And number 1, I'm a Bee, driven by Brennan Johnson. Number 2, Illini Duke with Tyler Smith. 3 is Pike Rock, Josh Sutton drives. Number 4, Mar Cruiser, Dan Noble. Number 5 is KB Mack with Ryan Stahl. Chris Page, the 6, Rockin' in My Shoe. And number 7 is Sandy J. Darren Harvey in the sulky. Go to the gate in 3 minutes.
I don't want to put you on the spot, but I am putting you on the spot, I guess, because a lot of people are talking, and the number one question that I get asked no matter where we go, will we be broadcasting county fair races next year when hopefully COVID-19 is in our past?
Well, I think most definitely the reaction that we've had has been overwhelming, and we broke a record tonight. At one point we hit 388 live viewers watching the broadcast, and what you'll find is within 2 or 3 days most of these broadcasts will exceed 3,000 views. Some of our early fairs, we've gotten over 5,000 views. So from a marketing effort, as president of the Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association, and I can't speak for the entire board, but I think the board is going to enthusiastically endorse doing this again next year. And we're probably going to have to expand. Don can't be, Trot and Pace Marketing can't be at every one of these fairs like we'd like to, and we're probably going to try to look for another crew to be able to bring this all to you. And what better way for us to showcase our sport? Because from what I have seen, I've probably seen a fourth of the broadcast. The camera angles have been excellent. The commentary has been excellent. And I think people have really enjoyed it because of the circumstances we've been dealt.
25 states in the month of July. 25 states represented by viewers. 9 countries worldwide watching the broadcast.
Well, I think, ideally, I'd like to think that we're able to showcase all the outstanding brood mares we've got in the state, but more importantly, how many great stallions we've got here, and tremendous breeding farms, and hopefully create some enthusiasm for some buyers at the upcoming sales, knowing that they're going to be able to watch their horse next year at a county fair coming to you.
Make no doubt about it. Our penultimate of the night. Final division, 2-year-old
The
Colt
Red
Pacers.
rolling its post time for the 13th here at the Champaign County Fairgrounds.
Mike Wolfenberg's opened the wings of the
Buckeye
gate.
Stallion Night, sponsored by the Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association. Fifth division. 2-year-old Colton Gelding Pacers, 6 on gate, 1 trailer. All in behind the Wolfenberg starting gate, and here they come. They were up and pacing. KB Mack on the outside, going to the front. Illini Duke from the inside. I'm a B protects the inside position. 3rd, coming out in 4th is Pike Rock. Next in 5th, Sandy J. Around the turn 6. Mark Cruiser racing 7th. Rockin' in My Shoe. Down the backside they go. 2-year-old Colton Gelding Pacers being led by Brennan Johnson and I'm a B. 2-hole trip. KB Mack and Ryan Stahl. Next in 3rd, Pike Rock and Josh Sutton. By the quarter, 29 and 1/5. They race around the turn. Racing for Sandy J and Darren Harvey. 5th, Mark Cruiser, Dan Noble racing 6th. Rockin' in My Shoe and Chris Page, and trailing a field. Illini Duke and Tyler Smith, all in straight alignment, passing the stands first time. Coming on over to the halfway point. The leader, I'm a B, by a length and a half. KB Mack is 2nd. Pike Rock racing 3rd. Out and on the move on the outside. Mark Cruiser into the turn at the half, 59 and 3. On to the 5/8 they go. I'm a B has the lead by 3 parts of a length. Pike Rock's coming at him on the outside. KB Mack is 3rd. Down the backside. Here comes a Mark Cruiser. He'll have to come 3 wide into the far turn. The battle's on the front end. They're coming from everywhere. winner. 2-year-old Pacers by 3/4, 1:29.3. Up on the outside, Pike Rock and Josh Sutton on the far outside as they race around the far turn. A little better than an eighth of a mile to come. Rockin' in my shoe down the stretch a pace. Rockin' in my shoe on the outside. Coming to the line, rockin' in my shoe. Battle for place. 1:59.
Tonight, Pike Rock was second and KB Mack third. A little too much early for Illini Duke, and I'm a B.
Yeah, he got a little bit pinched there. Quite honestly, the 5 really jumped him and was trying to clear to the front. Actually had cleared in front of Illini Duke, and I'm a B was on the inside there, and I think Illini Duke just kind of got pinched off there and couldn't handle the early speed there. It was unfortunate because
14th and final. Finesse, Sophie's Candy, rocking the blues. Do me with kisses. Sister said, we need 5. The 6 horses scratch. Scratch is 6 while the race is on out of the 14th.
I think this is a double for Pohamus, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Didn't he win the first or second?
He won one earlier.
Maybe the third.
You know, Roger, I've always looked at when they have horse drivers have 2 mounts or more mounts
Back to the winner's
in the
circle,
race,
the winner of the 13th.
as Chris did.
The 5th
He took
division
the
of the
winner.
2-year-old colt and gelding pace, Buckeye
Well,
Stallion Series.
that's what they're supposed to
Number
do.
6,
Well, he
Rockin'
knew,
in my shoe.
but there's a
The 2-year-old
handicap
big
and
limit
a
Pet Rock
handicapper's
out of the
advantage.
Cam Best mare. Remembered Promise. Zomba Julie Farley of Bradford. Mike Paul-Hamus trains. Chris Page gets his 4th winning drive of the evening. The mile, 1:59.
The 7th race with Twig, Mike Pohamus won that Mr. Apples colt. So Chris is patiently waiting in the winner's circle for some help to get this
It's
photo.
official. I'm a B6. Illini Duke 7. Pike Rock 2. Amar Cruiser 4. KB Mac 3. Rocket in my shoe, the winner, and Sandy J was 5th. 1:59, 29 and 1, 59 and 3, 1:29 and 3. Top down 6, 7, 2, 4, 3, 1, 5 on the bottom.
14th and final
14th
coming up.
race, the 4. Do Me With Kisses, make the driver Jeff Nysunger. Jeff Nysunger, the 4. Do Me With Kisses, scratch the 6. Well, the race is on. Bring them right on. We need 5.
2-year-old Philly Pacers, 5th and final division. Final race of the night from the Champaign County Fairgrounds in Urbana, Ohio, after these messages.
Athletes, they come in all shapes and sizes. They catch, they leap, they run. Some athletes even come with 4 legs and paws and hooves. When these beloved family members need care, remember the Ohio State Veterinary Medical Center. Ohio State experts wrote the book on exceptional animal care and know how to get our best friends back on their feet. The Ohio State Veterinary Medical Center.
When you need supplies for your horse, one name stands out: Big D's. Since 1974, Big D's Tack and Vet Supply has been the equine experts you can trust. Whatever your horse needs is available at Big D's Tack and Vet Supply. Visit the retail outlet in Streetsboro, Ohio, or order online at bigdweb.com. Most orders shipped that day, or call 1-800-321-2142. Big D's Tack and Vet Supply.
U.M. Partial was raised with horses in rural southern Ohio in the small village of Hillsboro. After a stint in the Army during World War I, Partial attended veterinary college, and in 1920, the 22-year-old student purchased a farmer's road horse and raced it to make a nice profit. He graduated from school, started his own practice, but gave it up to train horses. Thus began the career of Doc Partial. Originally based out of Washington Courthouse, by 1928, Parshall had won the prized Ohio Governor's Cup 4 consecutive years with 4 different horses. He was the leading teamster in the country, taking the title in 13 of 15 years, including winning the 1934 Hambletonian at the age of 36, and then again in 1939. Parshall would call Urbana home and would develop numerous world champions, and at one point, when there were but 5 3-year-old paces on the coveted 2-minute list, Doc had put 4 of them there. In the mid-1930s, Parshall befriended a 20-something kid by the name of Delvin G. Miller and mentored the promising talent. When Miller returned from his service in Southeast Asia after World War II, it was Doc who urged Miller to buy the recently retired Adios as a stallion. Doc turned the reins and his horses over to Delvin Miller before he passed in Urbana in November of 1950, and as a lasting testimony to Parshall's ability, that year both the Hambletonian and Little Brown Jug were won by Miller, with Doc's former students Lusty Song and Dudley Hanover. Dr. Hugh M. Parshall was enshrined as an immortal into the Harness Racing Hall of Fame in 2004.
Getaway feature, another $17,500 race, the 5th and final division of the 2-year-old filly Pacers, and it's a good field. A couple interesting stories in here. I don't know if you had a chance to look at this, Roger.
Yep. 3 need 2. Come right on. Bring them right on. Need 2 more.
Sister Said is the only winner of a Buckeye Stallion Series event. Did that at Scioto Downs on July the 23rd. 155-3.
Yep, and was at Bowling Green last week in an unfavorable track condition, came in second. I've got a sentimental pick here, Sophie's Candy, and this horse, I don't know if it's the great dam or great dam, was the Candy Superstar. The Robert Cope stable, Upper Sandusky. Dr. Cope, I think was a veterinary. I know this horse was taken right out of the field by the Brian Brown stable, and hasn't won yet this year, but it's made $40,000, Roger, and it was second in that inaugural event, the Next Generation race at Scioto Downs.
Okay, we got 4. Let's bring these 4 on. We're going to post parade. Final one can catch.
Sophie's Candy.
We're going to post parade these 4.
First start in the Buckeye Stallion Series after
Final
the
horse be coming
Next
out
Generation
shortly.
and 2 starts
Top
in the
of the
Ohio
stretch.
Sire Stake action. So a major drop in class.
Major drop in class. I mean, it had been not the best post draws, but it did have the 2-hole last start at Scioto Downs, and kind of looks like it never really got out. I don't know if it kind of got back through the field. I don't know, but previous to that had the 9-hole and the 8-hole.
Interesting to note that Brian Brown is here tonight himself. He warmed up all these horses.
The 2-year-old filly pace, Buckeye Stallion
That shows
Series,
just how important these Buckeye Stallion Series events are.
Sponsored by the Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association. Scratch number 6. Well, the race is on. Jeff Nysonger drives the 4. Do Me With Kisses. Here's a look at the field. Number 1, Finesse. The driver, Ryan Stahl. Out shortly will be the 2, Sophie's Candy and Chris Page. 3, Rockin' the Blues, the driver Dan Noble. Jeff Nysonger driving the 4, Do Me With Kisses. And number 5, Sister Said, Derek Flowers in the sulky. Scratch number 6, well, the race is on. Post time in 3 minutes.
Sophie's Candy missing the post parade, and the decision was made to go ahead and parade without the 2-year-old filly.
Must have had maybe some issues back there and notified the starter so they were excused.
Big night of racing here at the Champaign County Fairgrounds.
I remember, Roger, maybe the first year we did this, you came in and called the races and then had to drive clear back when you were living in Washington, PA, and I think you had a flight the next day to Ireland. Is that right?
Pastor Joe
Was that
the
3?
Donato brought me, I needed a driver because I actually announced that afternoon at the Greene County Fair in Waynesburg, PA, and then drove over here for the races and drove right back that night because I was leaving for Dublin, Ireland the next morning.
Yeah, I see.
And with no Vincent Delaney Memorial, I would have been leaving tomorrow morning as well.
Yeah. Well,
that makes my trek up to Attica tomorrow sound like a cakewalk. It's only 50 miles, I think.
If you hustled to the backside, you'd probably catch a ride with Ryan Stahl. You could sleep in a stall, Tom.
Yeah, sleep as in the back of the trailer.
What's that you got on your side of your head?
That's a star, I think. I lost the phone piece off my headset. I have to improvise. I don't know where it's around here someplace. But I got a foam star alongside my head.
I think they're still waiting on this 2-horse.
I don't know. That's it could be a couple things. I mean, the horse could have stepped on a shoe, tore a shoe off. It's hard to say what's happened, but that horse is going to have to come out here and at least turn for the judges.
During the qualifiers at Delaware earlier this year, Brian Brown had a filly that was raising all get out. She was bucking and kicking. I don't know if this is the one, but she is a fast filly and nice skater when she gets going, as long as she can keep her hind end on the ground.
The 2-horse is on the track and has been excused from coming back in front of the stands
for the 14th
because without there being any wagering, this situation doesn't require the horse to come back in
Champaign
front
County
of the stands.
Fair Board would like to thank the Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association for sponsoring these 14 races tonight. All a purse is $17,500. Buckeye Stallion Series, the third leg here at the Champaign County Fair. They're all in behind the Mike Wepkenberg starting gate. The gate swings into the stretch, and here they come. They're off and pacing. Sophie's Candy out for the lead. On the outside, rocking the blues. Racing on the inside as they race around the turn. Finesse coming out in fourth. Do Me with Kisses and trailing up field. Sister Said by the opening eighth and onto the backside. Sophie's Candy and Chris Page show the way. They lead it by 2. Finesse will get the 2-hole trip. Third, rocking the blues. Racing fourth. Do Me with Kisses and trailing up field. Sister Said from front to back, separated by 6 to 7 lengths by the quarter, 29-2. They race around the turn. Sophie's Candy has the lead. Second, Finesse. Third, Rockin' the Blues. Racing fourth, Do Me with Kisses. And Sister Said trails the field. Field of Pacers in straight alignment. They pass the stand for the first time. Come to the half. Sophie's Candy with the lead. Sitting in the pocket. Finesse is second. Rockin' the Blues is third. Do Me with Kisses fourth. Sister Said the first to move on the outside. Now fifth, now fourth, and moving up on the leaders at the half. 59-3 on the 5/8 they go. Sophie's Candy has the lead down the backside to the 3/4. Vanessa's second will come to the outside. Sister Said up on the outside on the leader's wheel, moving to the outside. Rocking the Blues stacked up second over, trailing the field. Do Me with Kisses at the 3/4. Sophie's Candy 3/4, 129 into the far turn. Nowhere to go for Finesse on the inside. 3 wide on the outside. That's Rockin' the Blues. Rockin' the Blues. Sophie's Candy on the inside makes a miscue. Down the stretch they come. Rockin' the Blues, the leader. Sister Said, Rockin' the Blues coming to the line. Rockin' the Blues. Finesse's second. Sister Said third. $158 1/5.
158-1. 2-year-old filly pacer.
Another quality mile. Wow.
Dan Noble equals the track record twice tonight.
Wow.
For 2-year-old filly pacers.
158 1/5 equals the track record for 2-year-old filly pacers. Here at the Champaign County Fair.
Unofficial 315.
Heaven is so far away, taking his second division with Dan Noble.
Pet Rock filly. Pet Rock Midland
Here in the
Acres.
14th. Rocking the Blues, Dan Noble, 158 and 1. $158 and 1 in 2016. Josh Sutton and Marvelous. So those three fillies are tied for the track record here at the Champaign County Fair, 158 and 1/5. Into the winner's circle, your winner of the 14th, the 5th division of the 2-year-old filly pace. Here's the 3, Rockin' the Blues. She's a 2-year-old brown filly by Pet Rock out of the Jate Lobel mare. Bull and Athena, Jerry Malone, Dublin, Ohio. Christy Noble trains. Dan Noble in the Saki. Dan Noble's 3rd winner of the evening, to mile 158 1/5, as they take the 5th division of the Buckeye Stallion Series for 2-year-old filly pacers, sponsored by the Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association.
A noble mile, a very noble mile.
Yes, it was. There were a lot of action.
Results are official. Finesse 2. Sophie's Candy 5. Rockin' the Blues, the winner. Do Me With Kisses 4. Sister Said 3. Number 6 was scratched. 158 1/5. 251 4-3. Scratch on the bottom. $29 and 2. 59 and 3. 3/4 129. 158 1/5. 251 4-3. Scratch on the bottom. Well, that concludes tonight's racing program here at the Champaign County Fair. Tomorrow evening, post time at 6:30, 13 races. Thursday evening, 11 races with the 6:30 post. On behalf of the Speed Committee, presiding judge John Wiest, Gentleman Barn area, grooms, owners, trainers, drivers, thanks for a great job of racing, getting them out on time. Please read her those head numbers and saddle pads when picking up your checks. Post time tomorrow at 6:30.
Should be noted, 14 races tonight, 10 of them faster than 2 minutes.
At a county fair.
All 2-year-olds.
All 2-year-olds.
All 2-year-olds. Tells you two things: quality of the breed, quality of the track. And you turn the clock back 5 years, and I'll bet we wouldn't have had but 1 or 2 of them, if that. The breed quality in Ohio is tremendous, and it's only going to continue to get better. We got some new stallions with some offspring that'll be on the market this year. Encourage a lot of those to get a catalog and take a look, because it's only going to get better and tougher here in Ohio, where the quality continues to impress a lot of people. It's quantity and quality now in Ohio. But just on behalf of the Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association, I want to thank all those that watched. I want to thank Champaign County Fair for hosting the Buckeye Stallion Series, and kind of turn it over to Thomas and Roger to close this off.
Just a great night of racing, folks, and very enjoyable, and I know so for the viewers as well. Just a great night.
Absolutely. I do want to say great job to the folks here at the fairgrounds. Excellent track. When you see track records like that, as again, these are all 2-year-olds, and it's unbelievable. But on top of behalf of the Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association, I want to say thanks to everybody for tuning in. We, the crew and myself, will be at Attica tomorrow and on Thursday. And then we'll be at Croton at the Hartford two independent fairs this week. Croton at Hartford Independent Fair in Croton on Saturday. Then we're over to Salina. I do this all the time.
Remember, Sabina, Salina.
But of course in New York, it's Celine Dion. I'm telling you. This is why I'm so confused.
She's in Las Vegas.
This. Don't bet on it. No. Anyway, thanks everybody for tuning in. On behalf of the Ohio Harness Horsemen Association, we want to say good night from Champaign County Fair in Urbana, Ohio. I'm Tom Pye, the harness guy. Don Holden is with the Trot Pace Marketing, and Teresa Maddox doing the great job with the graphics at the home base. Good night from Urbana.
Thank you for joining us today for the Ohio Colt Racing Association action from the Champaign County Fairgrounds. Be sure to join us tomorrow afternoon as we head to Attica for the Racing in the Ohio Fair Racing Conference. Post time is 1 p.m. For our entire production crew, thank you for watching. We'll see you tomorrow. Be there!